3 touchdowns, mopping up against Indianapolis a week ago as the Colts really devoured Houston. Dallas has won now 9 in a row. Last time they lost when we were here Thanksgiving Day, and they have a new face on the sideline since we were last year.
Yeah, and he also wears a college championship ring, which is just like Jimmy Johnson. His name is Barry Switzer. There's still an awful lot of questions about Barry Switzer as to what kind of head coach he's going to be. But when you talk to the Dallas Cowboy players, more like the change than don't like the change, Dick.
Switzer's home debut at age 56. The Oilers will get it first. Chris Fonyo, the rookie, delivers it high into the sidelines. Taken there by the veteran Lorenzo White. Now make that John Henry Mills who returns. Lorenzo White was back with him, and here comes Bucky Richardson, who was an 8th-round pick out of Texas A&M. Likes to throw on the run. Brad Hopkins will have to stop Charles Haley today. Flannery, Matthews, the All-Pro, Donnelly, and Williams, the offensive line. It's Gary Brown, the 1,000-yard rusher of a year ago. Then the run and shoot, Jeffries and Slaughter, Givens and Coleman. The targets for Richardson. And when they go to the muscle, Pat Carter, and he's in there now, the tight end, the new wrinkle, not a pure run and shoot in Houston this year. Gary dropped for a loss on first down. Invading was Leon Lett and Russell Maryland. The defense for the Super Bowl champions. Tolbert, grossly underrated, maybe their best lineman. Russell Maryland, Leon Lett. Charles Haley had 4 sacks at Pittsburgh last Sunday. Edwards, Jones, and Smith, the backers. We probably won't see much of Jones because of the run and shoot. Smith and Brown, Washington and Woodson, the back 4. When they go to the nickel, Brock Marion comes in for Robert Jones and plays a linebacker spot. Second and long. Richardson, he likes to scramble. A good runner. Out of bounds at the 29, a pickup of about 4. It'll be 3rd and 8. Darren Smith ran him out.
Bucky is John Powell Richardson. Kid out of Texas A&M told us that just before he was drafted, 3 days before, the head coach of the Houston Oilers, Jack Pardee, came down to Texas A&M. He said, Bucky said, I threw 10 balls and he left. He said, I didn't think they were going to draft me. I didn't think they were interested. But when he came to the league, Dick, had no mechanics whatsoever. Kevin Gilbride had to teach him how to throw the ball.
He has relished the role of the underdog, and now he gets his first chance to start in the NFL 3rd down and 8. He has a want to run rather than pass, and he's shy of the first down at the 35 as Darren Woodson made the tackle.
Yeah, there's a lot of people around Houston who think this guy is Tom Mix. I mean, you know, comes in on a white horse. I'll save the day.
Well, as a rookie in the preseason here against Dallas, he led the Oilers to a long drive at the end of the game to beat the Cowboys, and in the drive threw a left-handed pass out of desperation and won even more hearts down south of here.
The legend was born there, but as a starter, he did tell us, he said, look, there is nothing on my mind. There is no pressure on me. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Rich Camarillo. A wobbler to Kevin Williams, a dangerous return man at the 23 to the 30, and the Dallas Cowboys will start there. 42-yard punt, 7 on the return. We welcome those of you that have seen the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Cleveland Browns 17-10. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy and Hannah Storm in Irving, Texas. Texas Stadium sold out, of course, 65,000 plus. The Cowboys kicking off have held the Houston Oilers on downs, their first possession, and on the punt will begin at the 29. Troy Aikman takes them out. Now this is the ultimate offense in the NFL. 8 of the starting 11 made the Pro Bowl. 8 of the 11, including all the backs, and of course Michael Irvin. So the skill player, led by Emmitt Smith, who led the entire NFL with 171 yards last week in the win at Pittsburgh. Tuanay, Newton, Stepnoski, Kennard, and Williams. Kennard is the new face. He former New Orleans Saint. Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Darrell Johnston, the Moose made the Pro Bowl. Michael Irvin, 88 catches a year ago. Alvin Harper and Jay Novacek, another Pro Bowler. These are stars. That blue Texas star really appropriate. Kevin Williams comes in the 3 wideout. Aikman amazingly accurate. Almost the snap and falls on it at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's rare. Stepnoski and Aikman are a perfect combination, center to quarterback. That doesn't happen. Let's see what Stepnoski, the center, did not get the ball up to the quarterback. Of course, Stepnoski missed a large portion of last season with a knee injury. Is able to come back and play, and he's a former Pro Bowler. I mean,
he was a Pro Bowler last year, even though injured and couldn't play.
Young man who has pumped up his weight a little bit, but a great technician.
Small for Dallas standards. All the rest of the men on that line are 300 plus. 3rd down 7. Aikman's initial target covered, and he goes down. The sack by Lamar Latham, who has moved up on the line of scrimmage. A flag is down. And it might have been an Oiler violating that neutral zone. The Oilers self-destructed last week. Instead of forcing Dallas to punt, it'll be a 5-yard penalty offside.
But Dick, even though there's that penalty, that sack of Aikman, psychologically very importantly.
Offside by the defense, number 78 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Keith McCants in the neutral zone.
There you can see Keith McCants in the neutral zone. The league enforcing that neutral zone a lot more this year than in previous seasons. But again, they get the they get the 5 yards. But that sack, that pressure, anything to psychologically help this Houston Oilers football team at the outset of the game is huge.
3rd and a yard and a half. After the penalty, Houston penalized 13 times last week in Indianapolis. Aikman to Jay Novacek, the tight end, is to the 48-yard line. 1st down. Michael Barrow made the tackle.
That's what this offense can adjust so quickly. Watch what's happening here. We've got the Eagle defense or the Bear defense, and you're going to see pressure come up the middle, 3-step drop, the outlet, the hot receiver to Novacek, one-on-one with the linebacker Barrow, and they beat the blitz. Now what that does for Dallas, Houston won't blitz in that situation the next time.
12 yards for Novacek. He had 6 catches last week. Aikman. Wide open Novacek. Gets a great block from Michael Irvin. 1st down at the 35. And Irvin buried Darrell Lewis, the cornerback, on the near side.
Again, if you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, why should you have a primary receiver? This is the drag slant. Irvin is going to run the slant in. Novacek the drag out. And there's the block. You see Michael Irvin on Darrell Lewis. That's the Pro Bowl part of his team that doesn't get a lot of press. He sees the catch made and the lick right up underneath the chin.
The Cowboys start impressively, and it's Aikman to fire again. This time it's Michael Irvin. And another 1st down or close to it. They mark it at the 23. 1st down, Cowboys. A flag is down. Back in the Cowboy backfield. Referee today is Neil. Check that. Ed Hockley. Ed Hockley.
Illegal hands to the face by the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
Eric Williams, 79.
He is a bear of a man and a tough pass protector. He's on Davidson there. You see the right hand right up in the face mask clearly.
Hard to bull rush when you got that head looking up at the sky.
There are a lot of people who use their hand up around the face, including defensive backs, to try to alter the pass rush or route of the receiver.
On 1st down, Aikman off some play action. Now he has to scramble, dumps it off to Emmitt Smith, breaks the tackle. And Smith is out of bounds at the 23. 1st down anyway. 22 yards. That's a nice number.
Deuce, deuce.
That's what they call him, double deuce.
Now, Emmitt Smith, Dick, has got to be the 4th receiver in the progression here. He's looking downfield, he's looking right, then all of a sudden, why not throw it to the league's most valuable player, see what he can do with it. Emmitt, a superb runner, an excellent blocker, and a very underrated pass receiver.
That 209 pounds, and most of it down below the waist. He's got big, strong legs, tough to knock off his feet. gets a chance and is knocked down after a short gain at the 21-yard line. Let's take a look at this Houston Oilers defense. Kenny Davidson with the Pro Bowler Childress, Montgomery, and Lamar Lathan, who has moved from linebacker up on the line of scrimmage in the 4-3. Robinson, Al Smith, their leading tackler. Michael Barrow, he's got the speed to cover a back. Dishman and Lewis at the corners. McDowell and Robertson are the safeties. And when they go to their nickel, they bring in a couple of extra DBs, Steve Jackson and Blaine Bishop. Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator. He's a Buddy Ryan pupil. Aikman 3 for 3. Looks for another. Goes to the end zone for Novacek, but he was covered by a flag down. Robertson, number 31, was covering Novacek. Now, maybe is it an illegal check or is it interference? Was the ball in the air is what they're discussing now.
Pass interference by the defense, number 31. Automatic first down.
Dick, so far, this football game has started just the way great football teams start a game. And that is, you stop your opponent on their first offensive drive, and then you run it right down the field. And then all of a sudden, we're going to watch Novacek here. The contact is made with Robertson. Watch what happens when he turns up. Robertson realizes if I don't touch him, it's a sure touchdown, so he makes the contact.
And knocked him off stride, but denied him a clean pursuit to the ball. And to the 2 goes the Moose. Darrell Johnston from Syracuse, as popular with his teammates as he is praised by the opponents.
Yes, you're absolutely right. That the only fullback to make the Pro Bowl last year. But Dick, to continue what I was saying about the Dallas Cowboys and great football teams, they psychologically just suck the air out of it. You know, they stop you on Houston's first drive, then they drive from their own 27, 28-yard line right down the field, and you're sitting on the sideline saying, wait a minute, what are we going to do here?
Plus the Oilers aiding them with a couple of crucial penalties. Second and goal in at Smith, caught in the backfield and stopped at about the 2. No gain. Bubba McDowell, Leonard Jr. is in the backfield to make the early hit. And we welcome those of you who have seen quite a scoring fest in Foxborough, and the Bills prevail 38-35, and Bill Parcells' Pats have scored a lot of points in 2 games, but are 0-2.
Yeah,
they were 39-35 down to Miami last week.
Well, the NFL wanted more scoring. They have definitely gotten it.
Houston stopped on the initial possession, and now it's the Dallas Cowboys, 3rd and goal. Give it to Emmitt Smith. Dives, touchdown. And that ball, his 52nd touchdown, will go with the other 51 that he has stored in various closets and spots with his dad. He's kept them all.
And of course, Keith McCants, he was in the neutral zone, kept the drive alive, made it 3rd and short. Dallas converted. This team, this Dallas football team, they know what to do to an opponent early, Dick, to just take wind out of sails, and anything we're going to be easy today is just removed.
Extra point by the Louisiana Tech rookie, Chris Boniol. It is 7-0. 71 yards in 9 plays on their first possession. The Super Bowl champs and their most valuable player, Emmitt Smith. 7-0 Cowboys.
At the point of attack, which is right here, watch the power of the Dallas offensive line push Houston back, not to the goal line, in the end zone. Emmitt Smith takes off from about the 3-yard line and is not touched until he scores.
Just rides the surf of that offensive line.
So powerful.
They outweigh the Houston defense 30 pounds per man. Boniol to kick it off. Lorenzo White, John Henry Mills are deep. This one is to Mills at the 2. And he's able to return to the 25-yard line. Matt Vanderbeek and the veteran Bill Bates with a tackle. Early on, Dallas by 7.
Take a deep breath.
25-year-old superstar of the Cowboys, 7-0 with 7:20 left in the opening quarter. The Cowboys scored on 6 of 8 possessions last Sunday against the tough Pittsburgh defense, and they took it down right off the bat here today against Houston. Bucky Richardson to Gary Brown, and Brown was one tackler away from something very big. But slashing in was James Washington, another of the Super Bowl stars. He, the one who picked up the fumble and scored the touchdown in that third quarter that got the Cowboys even against Buffalo.
Dick, he stands Gary Brown right up. When he bounces outside, watch Washington. Picture perfect tackle. I mean, leg strength just stands him right up. Gary Brown is 230 pounds. Washington stopped him in his tracks.
4-yard gain. Bucky Richardson to the outside to Ernest Givens. Givens breaking a couple of tackles, and he's close to the 40-yard line. Houston has its initial first down, 11 yards on the play.
Now you've got a different wrinkle here. Ernest Givens playing the outside of this 4-receiver formation for Houston. Well done by Bucky Richardson. Double coverage. Givens breaks the double tackle. Again, this is just a little hitch. Smith gives him just a little too much cushion. Nice completion will help Bucky Richardson.
But the speed of that Cowboy defense, 2 missed him and 2 more got him, all within a 5-yard area.
Like there's 14 out there.
Richardson over the top of Haywood Jeffries. And from Dallas, Texas, let's go to New York, and then this NFL Live report.
All right, Dick, it's all over at Foxborough. Steve Christie from 32 yards out hits the field goal with 52 seconds to play. Buffalo over New England, 38-35. Let's go back to Dallas.
All right, Greg, and it looks as if that AFC East is going to be most interesting this year. Miami, big win against Green Bay today to go 2-0. Run and shoot, 4 wide receivers, and then they give it to Brown. And the big guy that played at Penn State is into Dallas territory, and a first down near the 45. Big block by David Williams in front. Kevin Smith made the stop.
First time we've seen the true run and shoot shown here by Houston. It spreads the defense out. You see David Williams, 93, just pushing Tony Tolbert out of the way, and then another lead block by David Williams on Washington. Puts Washington right on his back. Brown last week just 39 yards rushing. Need a lot more out of him today.
David Williams blocked for Emmitt Smith back in Florida. Richardson has to eat it. Charles Haley, who had 4 sacks a week ago. Well, just to alert you, NBC Chimes will announce all the other scores, so if you happen to be in a meandering mood, that'll bring you back to your set so you'll know all the current scores.
This is the big matchup today. Charles Haley now healthy, had off-season back surgery. 4 sacks last week. He had 4 sacks all of last year. But he says, now I can practice. I've got my flexibility back, and I've got my strength, and he's a tear.
Plus, he's added some weight. 6-yard loss on the play. Richardson, no receiver. How to get out of that? He's a fine runner. Now he throws and completes it to Pat Coleman. A flag down, and Richardson may have gone beyond the line of scrimmage. James Washington made the tackle and is slow getting up.
There was no ineligible player downfield, so there was no flag on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
That's one thing that Dallas is going to have to deal with all day long. I want to remind you that when Bucky Richardson was drafted by the Houston Oilers in the 8th round, he first had an impact on this team as a kick returner, and he was also on the kickoff coverage team. So this guy wears a quarterback number, but he thinks he's a fullback or a running back.
And he said, I'd have made it in the NFL anything they asked me to do. Play DB, linebacker, 3rd and 5. Boy, there's a great looking arm. Pat Coleman has the first down, and 3 Cowboys bring him down at the 24. 16 more yards. They didn't think Richardson had an NFL arm coming out of Texas A&M, but he has developed.
It's just bad mechanics, but watch him. He pulls the ball down, so the defensive back figure, well, he's going to scramble. Bam, back up, gets it ready in a hurry, and throws a strike. When you're running the patterns in the middle, as a receiver, you want those in the frame of your body, inside your shoulder pads. Richardson put it right on the money.
Coleman had 2 catches last week. He has 2 on this drive. First down at the 24 of the Cowboys. Play action. Richardson too tall for Webster Slaughter, who was wide open.
Now see, those are the problems of first start. That's an easy completion under normal circumstances for Bucky Richardson, but he tried to gun it in there, took a little longer step to get it there in a hurry, and throws it high.
Charming guy. His nickname Bucky came at age 10 as Little League baseball coach because he was the shortstop, and Bucky Dent was starring in the American League at that position. Called him Bucky, and it's stuck since. Gary Brown, only a yard or 2. Bill Bates in that nickel defense playing a linebacker spot, helped out by Haley and Woodson.
You can bet one thing: when Bill Bates is in the game, the Cowboys have 7 defensive backs in there, a 4-man front, 7 defensive backs. He and Woodson play the middle linebacker spot. Bates, I was going to say, Bates got his Super Bowl last year. 2 years ago he had to watch because of that bad knee.
At 33, one of the oldest Cowboys. Third down, a long 8. Richardson to Haywood Jeffries, right at the sticks, the 14-yard line. Larry Brown, the corner on the coverage. And let's see where they spot it.
Well done by Bucky Richardson. First down. He takes the drop. I think this is the same throw that he missed a minute before. This one, with the timing, he's able to get it out to Jeffries. Jeffries makes the catch. At least it's counted as a catch in the first down.
Haywood had 8 a week ago, and he's one of the few to hit the century mark 3 years ago. So an impressive drive by Richardson and the Oilers, and here's Gary Brown. And the big running back is finally wrestled out of bounds, and a flag down with that tackle at the 10.
Well, Ernest Gibbons just threw the flag at the official, and the referee at Hockley threw the flag at Gibbons.
This may be an unsportsmanlike, and if it was Gibbons who committed the foul, a double hit. So let's sort this one out. The late flag thrown by Hockley, the referee, as Gibbons picked up the penalty flag and gave it a toss. And now the ruling.
The first foul was not there. There was no illegal block in the back. It was in the side. However, there was an unsportsmanlike conduct by number 81 of the offense.
That is
picking up and throwing the official's flag.
Talk about a tough penalty to swallow.
It's after the down. The down counts. It brings up second down.
The official makes a mistake and throws a flag, and when the player reacts to the mistake, he gets a 15-yard penalty and hurts his team. That is about as tough to digest as you'll get.
Here's the block. Ernest Gibbons. He's on Smith. Now he's legal there, and then when the guy turns around, as long as the contact is maintained, it's not illegal. So they pick up the flag. But then you're right. The reaction by Gibbons, that's tough.
And it wasn't as if he threw it at the official. He swiped it away, but Ed Hockley's going to be in charge.
Haley.
Bucky Richardson can't get away from Haley, who gets him down. Tony Tolbert was there as well. Leon left. But it was Haley who made contact first.
In talking to Charles Haley yesterday at the Cowboys camp, we mentioned to him, well, what do you think about Hopkins, the offensive left tackle? And he said, who's Hopkins? I said, well, Brad Hopkins. He plays left tackle for Houston. You mean 72? I said, yeah, Brad Hopkins. He says, no, he's just a number. He's just a number. I don't care. He has no face.
That's 11 sacks for Dallas. In their 2 games, they had 9 against the Steelers. And Haley now with 5. And the Oilers moving the wrong way. The screen to Brown. Brown, boy, he bulls his way through 3 tacklers and is to the 28-yard line. And that was a 3rd and 31 play. And on 4th and long, Ernest Gibbons, the veteran, losing his cool a bit, but boy, he had a right target,
yes, he
didn't
did.
he?
And Dick, this has been one of the most penalized teams in the league the last couple of years. And senseless penalties like that, I mean, just reaction penalties have hurt this team and hurt this team badly.
So the veteran Al Del Greco to try a 46-yard field goal to salvage what otherwise was a big drive. It is no good. Wide to the right. He had plenty of leg. Another flag is down. So the penalties by Gibbons taking the Oilers into a long field goal. Will they get a break the other way?
Offsides by the defense, number 24, lined up in the neutral zone.
Larry Brown.
5-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
So a little payback for Houston.
Larry Brown probably trying to come around the corner to block the field goal. They try to cheat that line of scrimmage as best they possibly can. Brown is up here, and if he's in the neutral zone on the field goal, it counts too. And of course, you see the field goal team kind of bends around in a half circle, and it's very easy for those cornermen to be in that neutral zone.
So this will be a 41-yard try by Del Greco. Camarillo, the punter, holds, and Del Greco's second chance is good, and that breaks the record. 41 straight games he scored, breaking a tie with the immortal George Blanda.
Hey, early again, huh, Frank?
Welcome back to Dallas, Texas. Irving, 87 degrees today. It's probably over 100 degrees and even hotter under the collar for a kid who's getting his first chance to start in the NFL against the Super Bowl champions.
Kevin Gilbride there, the offensive coordinator, talking to Bucky as best he possibly can. You know, the Houston Oilers brought in Sean Salisbury. Didn't think Bucky was ready, but Bucky is always, I think he was born with the feeling, I'm ready for anything. You name it, I'm ready.
Wonderful confidence in a young man from Baton Rouge. Del Greco with a 41-yard field goal to make it 7-3, and he kicks it off over the head of Kevin Williams, and that a commonplace a year ago, but a rarity this season. A touchback. We'll break for this commercial word. Welcome back to the land of the Cowboys. I guess new Mrs. America 1994 as a former Dallas Cowboy cheerleader crowned last night.
I think these are certainly the most famous NFL cheerleaders.
Troy Aikman, 3 for 3 on the opening drive, 50 yards. Told us yesterday, he says, I think I can complete them all. I mean, he's looking at 70, 75%. Allowing for drops. Emmett Smith toppled hard after a gain of about 7.
We want to go back to the first drive and show you something from in the grid, and it was a key play involving Emmett Smith. The beauty of this offense, you can see Emmett Smith back here in yellow, and here are the defenders for Houston. Watch what happens as the play develops. Now out here is where Smith is going to catch the ball. He's going to bounce off here. Watch the way this defender clears out, so there's a wide open spot for Emmett Smith to make the catch. That's the beauty of this offense. It's options.
On second and short, Emmett Smith with a first down and more, and almost kicked his way free for a touchdown. 39-yard line. They get him after 12 more. Robinson and Robertson with the stop.
One of the great things about Emmitt Smith is he keeps plays alive. Sometimes there doesn't look like there's a place for him to go. He makes that little dip, that little nod, covers the football, picks up yardage like there's a wide open space there. Very difficult to hit square is Emmitt Smith.
Only a handful of NFL backs have won consecutive rushing titles 3 years in a row. Emmett, one of them. Will Campbell, another. Only 4 have done it. Jim Brown had a run of 5, nearly of 9 in the late 60s and late 50s and early 60s, and Emmitt Smith at only 25. What a compliment. Aikman with the passes, Smith with the run. Oh my.
You see those rushing titles for Jim Brown back in the 50s and 60s.
Look at that, only one break, and that's when Jim Taylor rushed for 1,400 yards and nose out Brown, or he would have dominated 9 straight seasons. Final seconds and the end of the first quarter in Irving, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys, Aikman, Smith and company, have a 7-3 lead. Was sewn up 3 straight NFL titles. His first quarter numbers: 31 yards, a 4.4 average. How does he do by quarter? This is 93. Well, 4-1, then 5-5, then 6 yards a carry, and then 6.3. As the game goes on, other players fatigue. Emmitt Smith gets better and better. Aikman. He's 4 for 4, and 3 of them have gone to Jay Novacek.
Dick, I'm telling you, the Houston Oilers are taking a big chance here because they're committing a lot of players to pressure on Troy Aikman. Watch again the pressure that they get trying to get on Troy Aikman. That's taking a heck of a chance because of the accuracy of Troy Aikman and the size of the wide receivers. This happens to be a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. You're conceding a lot when you blitz the Dallas Cowboys.
First down at the Houston 48. Emmitt Smith. Chopped down at the 39. A gain of 8 more. Let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, at the Meadowlands, the Jets winners at Buffalo last week trying to keep up the momentum, and they get it. Mo Lewis picks off John Elway, and number 57 rambles 67 yards. They're into the second quarter now. The Jets with a 7-0 lead on the Denver Broncos. Dick and Bob.
Mo Lewis, momentum moving back for Mo. Here in Dallas. A flag down, and Emmitt Smith. Latham gets him from behind, but Smith at will racks up another 11.
Dick, again, trying to cheat the line of scrimmage, blitz against this Dallas team. It's very difficult to blitz a team with a good running back. You are taking a heck of a chance.
That was offside against the Oilers, so the play will count. And Lincoln Coleman, that storied
offside by the defense, number 90, moved into the neutral zone before the snap. The penalty is declined. First down.
Dick, this is the old Bear defense that Buddy Ryan had at Houston. The 2 linebackers here and the 3 down inside. But this is Kenny Davidson, the one that comes outside. But the chance you're taking is that if they get you down inside and everybody makes a block, there's nobody there to touch Emmitt Smith.
Smith out and Coleman in. Aikman to throw. Incomplete. Knocked out of there by number 28, Chris Dishman, whose parents from Louisville, Kentucky are here to cheer him on. He had an interception a week ago.
Of course, last week, Urban ran patterns against Rod Woodson, who was a teammate at Dishman at Purdue. And Urban loves these personal matchups. He wants to go against the best.
Chris Dishman, who had 6 interceptions and 4 forced fumbles in a big season a year ago. That's the first incomplete pass for Aikman, 4 for 5. And then Smith back in. The fake. No, he takes the handoff and is tripped up at the line of scrimmage. A rare time that Smith does not produce yardage. Big Glenn Montgomery, the 282-pound tackle, got a hand on him low.
That made Smith move. Seldom do you see penetration by a defense against its offensive line. Tearing his jersey, maybe be able to use that at his card shop down in Pensacola, Florida. Put that up there for sale. Put $1,000 on it. It'll be out the door in a second.
Because that's what sells best.
Yep, them jerseys.
His card, his jerseys, his helmet, whatever. All right, third down and a long 10 for Aikman. Under some pressure, and they've got him, although he falls forward. I don't believe it'll be a sack. He gained a yard. Marcus Robertson, the safety, was coming on that play.
Very late blitz, timed well by 31 Marcus Robertson. Here's Robertson, and he times it perfectly. Gets there just before the ball is snapped. Johnston cannot make the block. Well, he really does a good job of getting him away from the quarterback, but when Troy begins to run, Robertson there to make the sack.
Marcus Aaron Robertson played at Iowa State. A 45-yard attempt by Bonio out of Novacek's hole. Right down the middle. Young Bonio, 5 for 5 in the big leagues. It's 10-3 Dallas. And this season, Bonio, who hit from 45. At the other end, John Henry Mills and the veteran Lorenzo White. White, as a rookie, returned to kick off for a touchdown, and then, of course, he was much too valuable and hasn't been used in that role. It is White at the 1. And he returns to the 30-yard line. A reminder, next Sunday, Sequest will return to NBC, a spectacular 2-hour season premiere. It's a whole new Sequest, new cast members, new locations, and new discoveries. It all returns next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on NBC. Oh, 10-3 Dallas, and Bucky Richardson on the field for the Oilers.
Dick, Houston started with the regular offense, that is a tight end, a running back, and an H-back. Now they've gone with the 4 wide receiver set, the true run and shoot, and actually they functioned very well. We got an injury, Darren Woodson, 28, being attended to there kind of late, down in coverage on the kickoff.
Woodson, who's a safety but plays like a linebacker, as you see the other scores today. Buffalo, after losing at home to the Jets, getting a last-minute win at New England. Warren Moon, the former Oiler, threw his first touchdown pass for the Vikes in their victory. Steelers have bounced back from their Dallas loss. And Indianapolis, after so impressive against Houston last week, loses at Tampa Bay. Bucks have their first win. As promised, Andre Rison said, we'll beat the Rams. And he had a couple of touchdowns to get him started today. Jets and Denver tied at 7.
How about Jeff George down there in Atlanta? They can get that kid straightened out upstairs.
All right. Bucky Richardson to Gary Brown. And Brown toppled after 2. Down low was Led and Maryland. Haley, 25 yards for Gary Brown. He had only 39 the entire game at Indianapolis. But what a year for him last season as he came in after the Lorenzo White injury and rushed for 1,000 yards. He was second only to Emmitt Smith, yards per rush, 5.1. Emmitt was 5.3.
Yeah, that was in 8 starts. He goes over 1,000 yards.
Second and 8. Blitz. Incomplete to Coleman.
Dick, rare blitz by the Dallas Cowboys. Middle linebacker Robert Jones. Not something that Butch Davis, the defensive coordinator, likes to do, but when you've got an inexperienced quarterback, nobody touches Jones. He is in there and in there cleanly and puts his helmet right on the chin of Bucky Richardson.
Yeah, that'll make the nose pulsate. 3 left, 1 right on 3rd and 8. Richardson throws to the sideline to Jeffries. Will it be enough? He's tackled at the 39, a yard shy of a first down.
Oh, tough to throw that ball when you're looking at it. 7 defensive backs all playing zone. The rules of the run and shoot is when you see 7 defensive backs, you should run. But it appears to me that they're kind of going away with some of the hard and fast rules of the run and shoot.
Cam Rio to punt with Kevin Williams back. He's their second-year man from Miami of Florida and was so productive a year ago. Had a couple of touchdowns on reverses, and he had a couple more on punt returns. One in the ice on Thanksgiving Day from the 13. Nothing there. Well covered by the Oilers at the 17-yard line. A 48-yard Camarillo punt. Timeout.
Pringles Light has become Pringles Right Crisps. Still a third less fat.
Aero portable computer. So light and portable, you'll never be tempted to leave it behind.
Back at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead 10-3. Opening drive for a touchdown. Emmitt Smith over the top from 1 yard out, and then a 45-yard field goal by rookie Chris Bonio. A 41-yard field goal by Del Greco, the only Houston scorer. And Aikman starts at his 17. Looking for something big. Michael Irvin. And Chris Dishman, and it falls right in Dishman's lap. And that's returnable. Chris Dishman looking for a block and knocked out by Daryl Johnston at the 22-yard line. A freak interception. They both go up. The ball pops in the air, and Dishman on his back has it fall in his lap and returns it 38 yards.
I think Michael Irvin is the man who gets his hands on the football. Look at the hand fighting here. Allowed 2 great athletes, one in coverage, one running the pattern, And that is a Houston Oilers bounce. You'd expect that in the Astrodome, but not in Irving, Texas. Great coverage by Dishman. But Troy Aikman has great confidence in Irvin to go up and get the ball. It just takes a Houston Oilers bounce.
So the interceptor was not down by contact because he caught the ball after he was on the ground. By rules, interception and illegal return.
And to the 22-yard line of Dallas, 38 yards on Dishman's second interception in 2 games. And Irvin a bit unlucky.
Yeah, he's wondering what happened. How did that happen? And of course, for mom and dad who are down here for the game for Chris Dishman, they like seeing son performing well.
For Troy Aikman, his first interception of the season. Oilers looking to tie. This sellout crowd trying to make it tough on Bucky Richardson. Incomplete through the hands of Haywood Jeffries.
That was Darren Smith. That was the linebacker in coverage on Jeffries. You want to make friends as a quarterback with receivers. When you go over the middle, throw that ball at my body, not out of my arms. He doesn't really follow through all the way. And Jeffries sees Jones 55 in front of him, Smith right behind him. That should have been caught, actually, Dick.
Gibbons far right and Jeffries far left. Give it to Brown, and Brown tries the middle. Short yardage, 3.5. Inside the 19 of Dallas. Here's the man making the calls, Kevin Gilbride, the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator.
And Houston and Bucky Richardson, they like the headset radio. On the other side of the ball, Troy Aikman hates it. He would have had to change helmets, and he prefers the hand signals from Robert Ford and Ernie Zampese on the sideline.
3rd and a long 6. Caught as Richardson hit just as he delivered the ball. And then Ernest Gibbons, make it Pat Coleman with the catch. Right at the sticks at the 12-yard line.
Dick, again, Dallas with 7 defensive backs in the ball game. And Jack Pardee, look at how close is it? I don't think there's any question here. I mean, the way he got beat last week.
4th down, and it appears to be less than a yard for a first down. Dishman went out of bounds at the 22, and you see where the ball is, just outside the 12. And Richardson, that's a wise decision. He's going to call time, make sure the right play is set up. 9:12 left in this opening half.
Fresh beer has a lot of enemies. One of those is heat. That's why we insist that every Coors distributor has a refrigerated warehouse. Another enemy is time. So we put a date on every package to help us ensure the beer you buy meets our freshness standards. When you live and work out here, freshness is something you might take for granted. We don't.
And a big victory for Marty Schottenheimer's Chiefs. And a big decision now for Jack Pardee as he goes for it 4th and less than a yard. Now, do you bring in the tight end,
Yes,
Bob?
they have. They brought in the tight end, Pat Carter, 85, John Henry Mills. This is what they got these guys for, exactly this situation.
And you're figuring run to Gary Brown. And Bucky Richardson on the sneak, and Richardson who carries almost 230 pounds and has running back skills in behind the right guard Kevin Donnelly and his center Bruce Matthews for the first down.
Well, let me make this comment. You don't need double tight ends for a quarterback sneak. You can do that from the run and shoot.
Well, referee Ockley says, no, that's not that certain. Let's measure it. John Perry Pardee. He's a Texan to the core. Grew up in a little town. Had only 11 in his graduating class. All-America A&M, All-Pro with the Rams and the Redskins. First down.
Someday I'd like to see tape, or I have a feeling in the case of Jack Pardee, film of that high school football he played. 8-man high school football. I'd like to see that and how it's deployed. He told us 2 years ago it was the original run and shoot.
All right, first down, Houston trying to tie it up, and Gary Brown blasts through a big hole inside the 5. A pickup of about 8 as Brown again behind Matthews and Donnelly.
And Dallas again with 7 defensive backs in the ball game. Now these are the true rules of the run and shoot. 4 up front, 7 defensive backs. You run the ball. Now Billy Bates, number 40, makes the tackle along with Washington. Same defense. 7 defensive backs. They should run.
On 2nd and 2, they do, and they score. Gary Brown. And they will argue that Bruce Matthews is the best lineman in football, and folks not just in Houston might agree. He led them right down the field. They ran behind Matthews on every key play after Chris Dishman's interception set them up.
Beautifully executed too out of there. You see Urban. He's the one who is still wondering how Chris Dishman got that ball in his hands. But the Oilers.
3-yard run by Gary Brown to make it 10-9. Del Greco's point after try out of Camarillo's hole. And we have a new game, 10 aside.
Again, you count the box. Matthews folds Chad Hennings along with Donnelly. Brown does the rest for the score.
Mitsubishi draft choice, this running back spent the first 2 years in the NFL going nowhere fast. A year later, he was a 1,000-yard rusher. Who is this diamond in the rough?
Quarter with 8 minutes 19 seconds left in this opening half. And Del Greco trying to squeeze a wrinkle in the Paul Tagliabue model Wilson.
Kickers always try to figure out a way to ruin the football. They're always trying to do that.
Brock Marion 31 and Kevin Williams 85 stack it up, so Del Greco can't tell who's going to be where. They want the ball to go to Kevin Williams, the Cowboys. And it's Williams at the 1. Miami speedster gets to the 21. Well, you saw that coming up this week on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, Bob Costas hosts the celebration of Sports Illustrated's 40th anniversary. The magazine picks the 40 most influential sports figures of all time. Now here's the drama, folks. Listen carefully. Did Bob Trumpy make the top 40? That'll all be announced Wednesday night at 10 o'clock on NBC.
I'd settle for 41.
Oh, my. You didn't even make that 41 in Springfield, Illinois. High school.
I didn't make 4,100.
10-10, and it's Troy Aikman's turn. He throws it, almost intercepted. The pass was dying shy of the receiver, and Darrell Lewis in front of Michael Irvin.
Now, Dick, Dallas has got to make some adjustment here because Houston is having success with the blitz. Pittsburgh did last week, too. This ball underthrown, as you said. Lewis almost makes the interception. It's underthrown because of the pressure up front by the Houston front 7. They're blitzing all over the place. A little draw play, a screen, even though Dallas doesn't run screens very well, slows down the pass rush in the blitz.
They're after him again, and the throw incomplete at the 34-yard line. Again intended for Irvin.
Boy, Houston's found something that works.
It's curious as to why they don't go to Alvin Harper on the other side, as obviously the Oilers are hawking Michael Irvin. And Emmitt Smith not carrying. Well, here's the comparison of the two. Brown, one less carry, has 40 yards in this half, and Emmitt with a half 100, each with a touchdown. And Gary Brown said, hey, this is a thrill to be able to be compared with Emmitt Smith. 3rd and 10.
Blitz again.
And this one is to Harper over his head. Covered well by Chris Dishman.
Dick,
3 and out for the Cowboys.
That went right through Harper's hands. I mean, that was thrown. It was high, but that baby zipped right through Harper's hands. And again, the Houston Oilers blitz. Now, it's Dishman in the coverage. See, that went right. That's catchable. Got to hang on to that football, especially 3rd down in that distance. Come on, fellas. Catch it.
So Aikman starts 4 for 4 and now is 0 for the last 5. John Jett. Whoa. With John Henry Mills in on him. Spencer Tillman backpedals to the 27. No, that's Travis Hamilton, and it's handed to the 40 to 41. Hanno's had some trouble handling kicks. That's why he's not on the kickoff return. And Derek Brownlow, drafted by the Cowboys but released by the Raiders this summer, made the tackle. A look ahead next Sunday on NBC, and as this season becomes more engaging, the Jets Miami. Jets 2-0. So are the Dolphins. Buffalo will be at Houston. Indianapolis, Pittsburgh. New England at Cincinnati. Will be in Denver as the Raiders meet the Broncos. San Diego, Seattle completes the lineup. That'll start at 12:30 Eastern time, 9:30 in the West here on NBC. Flag is down on the kick return. 51-yard punt by Jett. 14 on the return if.
It was an unsportsmanlike conduct by number 29 of the receiving team. It was a post-possession foul. The player went out of bounds to hit a member of the kicking team while out of bounds. That's unsportsmanlike conduct. 15 yards is enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
Darrell Lewis, trying to find a man to block, had to leave the field to play. There's Lewis on Kenneth Gant, his number likeness. Nothing dirty about it. He just rode him out of bounds and maintained contact. But they didn't see this one, apparently, as John Jett.
Whoa. Block in the back by John Henry Mills.
Now that one should have been the
absolutely.
Post possession. So it's at the 26-yard line as they mark it off. Houston's ball tied at 10. The Oilers were second only to the Raiders in most penalties and penalty yards last year, and they're off to a running start in that category this year. They had well over 100 yards against them in Indianapolis a week ago.
Dick, 7:46 to go here in the first half. They'll take a 10-10 tie. Last week it was 35-0 in Indianapolis, so Houston probably feeling very comfortable.
Now here's a number that'll surprise a lot of folks. Jack Pardee, counting preseason against Dallas, is 7-0. Now, albeit 6 of those wins coming in the preseason. But Pardee, since he's been the coach of the Oilers, is 7-0 against the Cowboys.
Trying to make up for the times when he played with the Washington Redskins and had no luck against the Dallas Cowboys. None.
Well, he isn't very vocal about a lot of things, Jack Pardee, but he will tell you that as a former Redskin, there's not a lot of favor that he has for these Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. And Hockley going to the phone on the sideline.
Perhaps a confusion as to just where the ball should be spotted. It was the 27-yard line.
Well, wrong phone.
You know, life has become just too complicated.
I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have one in his back pocket.
Two of them. Scorekeeper. Give me the score.
Dick Maxwell is here from the NFL.
Well, he wants to be certain to. Let's go to Hannah Storm. Maybe they see.
You're going to put her on the spot? We can't figure this out? Let's guess.
Try to find out.
Okay. Mr. Hockley has got his microphone cleansed. I guess that's what that gentleman was doing. Now let's hear.
The reason for the delay is the foul was inadvertently marked off from the end of the run. It was a post-possession foul, so it should have been marked off from the end of the kick, was the spot where the receiver caught the ball. That was the 27-yard line. We'll go half the distance to the goal.
All right, we're right. 27-yard line, half the distance.
All he has to do is call Ross Slingshot Schneiderman. He could have given him hand signals and told him where the ball should have been.
Ross, was that you on the other end of that phone?
Ball at the 14. High to 10. Young Bucky Richardson to Gary Brown. Darren Woodson with a solid hit and a loss of 2 yards.
Even though he's a defensive back, 6'1", 215, he's almost a small linebacker. And at that time, Dallas had the 4-2-5 configuration.
Well, that's what he was, folks at Tempe.
Yes.
Well, remember, Arizona State, he played linebacker.
Broke his arm last year. I mean, this Dallas defense was injury-laden last year, which a lot of people have overlooked and, frankly, forgotten.
Closer to 2nd and 11. Richardson underneath. And Pat Coleman has another catch. That's 4. The most he's ever had in an NFL game is 5, and that was against the Cowboys.
Yeah, you know, Dick, Coleman is playing the spot that Ernest Gibbons used to play, that slot receiver. Of course, the other slot receiver that generally plays is Gary Wellman. He's out with a broken leg, won't be back for quite a while, but the slot receivers in this run and shoot are the ones who, one, have to make the biggest adjustment, and two, probably get the most catches.
3rd down, 1.5 yards, and Brown has that and more. Out to the 30-yard line goes Gary Brown. Woodson trips him up.
Now, Dick, Houston is taking advantage of those 7 defensive backs. The front 5, the offensive line of the Houston Oilers, doing an excellent job. All these guys off the line of scrimmage are defensive backs. And the run and shoot tries in the running game to isolate blocker on blocker and then running back on tackler. And so far in the early stages of this game, it's worked in Houston's favor.
Richardson drills that one complete. And Richardson has another 12 yards. That one going to Coleman again. He has 5.
Again from the slot, releases around Gant. And the corner and the safety pick him up. Billy Bates comes from the inside. The Cowboys are using zone in this, what they call nickel Bates, which is 7 defensive backs. Houston finding spaces.
Young man from Cleveland, Mississippi, Pat Coleman, having quite a hat. Career game for him. Richardson on 1st down. Throws over the top of Webster Slaughter. Slaughter, who had 9 catches to lead the Oilers last week, doesn't have a ball so far today. He's coming back from knee surgery and actually went through the entire training period without playing and then opened the season with 9 catches.
Not bad. On last December he tore that knee up, missed all of camp, as you said, continuing to rehab. First hit he took last week. That's the first contact he's had since the injury.
5 minutes 11 seconds left in the half. 10-10 tie. Richardson incomplete. A tough chance for Ernest Gibbons, covered by Kevin Smith. And he was looking back into the sun. I don't know whether that was a problem, but he goes into that daylight. That ball just ate him up.
Yeah, thrown very, very quickly. The defender, Smith, Kevin Smith, had no time to adjust to the ball, and Ernest Gibbons very little. Therefore, he couldn't catch it. See, the problem Richardson has here is that formerly the 3rd-string quarterback for Houston, not a lot of time in practice with these receivers, Dick.
He's 3 for 7 on 3rd downs. Needs 10. Coleman will be shy of the 1st down. Wrapped up. There's Bill Bates there to make the initial hit. Well, the Cowboys defense holds. And out comes Rich Camarillo. Clayton Holmes back to return the punt. I don't know if there's something wrong with Kevin Williams. Holmes back at the Dallas 10. He's got plenty of speed. Bad kick. Wobbler off the side of the foot, but it takes a great Houston bounce. Holmes runs it out at the 20. On come the Cowboys. Troy Aikman and his favorite target had caught 88 to match the number on his uniform, Michael Irvin, a year ago. And Irvin from Miami of Florida is more than a number. The 1988 Orange Bowl, Miami was playing Oklahoma. The Hurricanes quarterback Steve Walsh fires, and Michael Irvin has the touchdown. Miami a 17-7 lead, giving Sooners head coach Barry Switzer a headache. Ironically, Jimmy Johnson's Hurricanes won that game 2014 and the national championship. Michael Irvin. Aikman gets to Smith, and Smith for a 4-yard pickup. And in that game, before the catch, there was some rain, and he said in the huddle, told us, he said, my father's here. And looking up to heaven, the rain, he said, my father's here. And he caught the touchdown. And he said later he met his mother, Pearl, after the game, and Mom said, you know, just before you caught that, I just felt your father's presence.
That's a little scary, because I mean, that just stops you in your tracks when you think that there might be some connection. But I spent 12 years with Jimmy Johnson at Miami and also here.
Denied Barry Switzer his 4th national title. Switzer won 3. Good coverage by Kenny Davidson on that left corner, and Eddie Robinson denied, and a loss of a couple. Lorenzo White in Fort Lauderdale, his best buddy, and here they meet one another. In fact, Lorenzo's mom, Michael, calls his own mom Pearl Mom, and calls Lorenzo's mom his mom too, doesn't he?
Yeah, in fact, when they were at the Pro Bowl together 2 years ago, they're sitting in a hotel room, and Lorenzo reminded Michael that as kids they used to work to peel wallpaper off hotel rooms. He says, man, here we're sitting in Hawaii together.
Look at this hotel room. Down the middle for Harper. Alvin Harper. All the way to the 43-yard line.
Double coverage on Michael Irvin, and single coverage. Harper gets inside of Darrell Lewis. Aikman throws it beautifully. Oh, Harper, he's even bigger than Michael Irvin. An inch taller and about 5 or 6 pounds heavier. I think he's probably the more acrobatic of the two. But again, excellent speed and a great throw by Aikman, Dick.
He was second to James Jett in yards per catch last year. And Aikman has to throw that one away as Kenny Davidson chased him out of bounds.
Good coverage. Eddie Robinson was all over Darrell Johnston, and Johnston was the primary receiver. You're going to see the fake handoff. This is this waggle. And there's Davidson pushing him to the sideline. Seems to be all right.
Contact made in the field of play. So even though Aikman, when skidding almost into the bench, a legal hit as they approach the 2-minute timeout. 2:10. 2nd and 10, and then Smith. Oh, runs into Ray Childress, the all-pro tackle, and nothing more for Emmett.
Woo, did he stop in a hurry?
2 minutes remaining in the opening half. They're tied at 10.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX4. Another engineering splash from Michelin. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
My mission was to clean the garage. I had to go in quietly, not because of the enemy, but because my family just couldn't stand the noise. So I armed myself with the new quiet superpower from Shopvac. It's the quietest Shopvac yet. Nails, wood chips, glass, water. Shopvac's power wiped them out. Mission complete. I prepared for my next assignment. Diaper change.
Be as quiet as you can be with Shopvac's QSP.
So I met this girl. I asked her to dinner and a movie. She asked, what do you have in mind? So I said,
make it a blockbuster night and a border night too. Go to Taco Bell, buy tacos or burritos and a medium drink. Get a free blockbuster video. 2-for-1 rental and Taco Bell food. Make it a blockbuster night and a border night too.
hurry coupon for a 2-for-1 Blockbuster video rental when you buy food and a medium drink at Taco Bell.
Cross the border.
Jordan, Palmer, Rose, Sugar Ray. Who would you pick as the 40 most significant people in sports over the past 40 years? I'm Bob Costas. Join me as Sports Illustrated makes its picks and meet the legends they've chosen. Wednesday night at 10 Eastern on NBC.
Tied at 10-2 to go. Ball at the 32-yard line of the Oilers. 3rd down and 9 Dallas. Harper left. Irvin right. Tyler Novacek to the left side for Aikman. Good protection. Oh, through the hands of Irvin, who was wide open at the 20. So that's 1 for the last 8 for Troy Aikman. It was a big one, the 45-yarder to Harper.
This was not a blitz. There really was no pressure on Troy Aikman. I'm kind of surprised he can't make this completion. Michael Irvin very late getting up in the air to catch the ball. None of that looked right. Not the way a Super Bowl champion team looks.
And apparently out of field goal range, or Barry Switzer does not want to take a chance of a miss and give Houston the ball around the 39-yard line. So Jet will try to pooch one. Well, that one needs a parachute.
Bates catches.
Oh my, Bill Bates like an outfielder. Snares it inside the 5. A perfect 27-yard placement punt by John Jett. And Bill Bates, the receiver, as soon as the Oilers ran out of the picture, it's game for him to catch it.
I want to go back to the last Houston offensive drive, a key catch as we look again in the grid. Coleman, the receiver for Houston, does an excellent job of splitting the zone here. Watch the black line. It tells you where he's going. So he goes outside. The inside guy just circles in their dead spot in the zone. Bucky Richardson makes the completion. It was for a first down. That's a great shot of splitting the zone, finding that dead spot there.
They say that Bates first caught the ball at the 5 as momentum took it to the 2. So Bucky Richardson tied at 10, 148. No time for a mistake. A quick hitter out to Haywood Jeffries and Larry Brown. The corner there immediately. A pickup of 5. Larry Brown and Kevin Smith, the 2 cornerbacks for these Dallas Cowboys. With all the other great stars on this team, you don't talk much about them, and since they play basically zone cover, probably underestimated and underrated.
Yeah,
those 2, but they're terrific corners.
You're right. Dallas doesn't have to go with a lot of man-to-man coverage because they get such a good pass rush. They can play these defensive backs in zone.
Gary Brown close to a first down at the 15. Tripped up by Woodson and Bates. And they spotted just shy of the 15-yard line.
Dick, we've seen an awful lot of the Dallas nickel Bates defense in this first half. I'm wondering if there's going to be some change. Butch Davis, there's Bates. He's been on the field almost the entire first half here in this 4-7 alignment from the Dallas Cowboys.
He's just 205 pounds, playing basically a linebacker spot. Incomplete. So on 3rd down and inches, they throw a sideline pass. And now we'll have to punt, and that gives the Cowboys the ball. Why would they do that?
I haven't the slightest idea why they do that, except for the inexperience of Bucky Richardson. You don't want to stop the clock.
And you don't want to give the ball to Dallas. And now Dallas should get pretty good field position, where it would appear Brown, with his power, could have picked up an easy first down. He needed just inches. So 43 seconds left, and Holmes standing just in the shade at the 35. Camarillo gets a better kickoff this time to the 37. And Holmes to the 45, the 47-yard line, and with Troy Aikman taking the field, 32 seconds left to try to get at least into field goal range. A reminder coming up, Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Messrs. Gumbel, Ditka, and Gibbs from New York. All the scores, all the highlights from around the league, the early game finals, including the big one at Arrowhead between the Chiefs and 49ers. That's coming up at halftime.
Boy, that did have some electricity.
Oh, yes, it did.
Those fans in Kansas City. You know, everyone says when you're at home, get out the colors of the team. You looked at that, and it was an entire 80,000 seats painted red. All fans wearing their red. Eddie Robinson is the injured Oiler.
Actually, I don't think there was a stadium big enough in Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, anywhere to seat all the people that wanted to see that Kansas City San Francisco game. Can't really tell what part there. It looks like a shoulder with Eddie Robinson. See if we can find Eddie Robinson. He comes in from right there. He is a man with a neck collar. Maybe just a stinger on the left arm.
He took the force of the Holmes forward momentum.
Yeah, and also 52, a guy we saw
Darren Wortham. Yeah,
he will hit anything that moves.
Robinson, whose dad is one of the officials that operate the Superdome in New Orleans, a very bright guy. Had he not made it in football, he was thinking about medicine. He was a chemistry major in college at Alabama State.
Yeah, matter of fact, he told us that he donated money to the school to buy some chemistry equipment.
Lab equipment. And he's going to form a scholarship as well. One of those rare young athletes that are quick to give back and say thank you for their educational process, to be applauded.
He went to Alabama State on an academic scholarship.
Yeah, he's a card collector. We talked about Emmitt Smith owning a trading card store, and he says, I got a rookie Emmitt Smith. I've got that one.
Proud of it,
How
too.
much is it worth? He said, $90, $100 for an Emmitt Smith rookie. He doesn't have this one, though. He does not have this one. And you know what, you folks, you can get these. Just send in Bob Trumpy, Cincinnati, Ohio, 5 cents.
They sell for $90 a ton.
Aikman underneath to Smith, running for the sidelines, and gets out at the 49 of the Oilers, stops the clock, and that was crucial. 26 seconds, a 4-yard gain.
And Dallas has all 3 of their timeouts left, so they're in decent shape here.
Boy, that call on 3rd and inches prior to the punt will be double guessed, second guessed, and questioned if the Cowboys get points out of this. Harper left, Michael Irvin right, and Kevin Williams slotted left, no tight end. Aikman guns it to Irvin. They're in field goal range, and Irvin gets out of bounds at the 28.
Beautifully done.
Marcus Robertson made the stop, 21 yards on the play.
Houston this time came with some pressure, but you see Dishman looking in. This is not man-to-man. This is zone coverage. Dishman is looking in at the quarterback, but Aikman has time. He can't recover the area between him and Irvin, and it's just perfect timing. Irvin gets to the out-of-bounds marker. They still got 3 timeouts. Stop the clock. Perfectly done.
And if they had to kick a field goal now, it'd be about a 45-yarder, and Bongo has already kicked one today. But Aikman looking for something more than that. He slides at the 20. And the timeout with 11 seconds. He has a chance for one more play. We'll see if Switzer says, hey, take a shot at it.
Well, that's an expensive player right there. $50 million. He got an $11 million bonus. And I asked him when you got that check, what'd you do with it? And he said, well, the first thing I did was I photocopied it, and then I cashed it.
They said he tried to be casual initially when they had the whole ceremony. He said I just kind of put it in my vest pocket. Then later, I took it out and stared at it and stared at it. Can you imagine looking down at a piece of paper that says $11 million? All you got to do to go to the bank?
Yeah, and Troy Aikman on the check.
But he's really kind of a ordinary sort, as he would describe himself. He's not extravagant. I said, did you buy a big new car? Nope. Did you buy a big house? Nope. Well, what did you buy?
A lawnmower for his mom.
But a power mower that you can sit on. Not just he got an 1.5-acre lawn where his mother and father live, on a place outside of Dallas.
He is a true country kid. Went back to Henrietta, Oklahoma this year for his 10th high school anniversary. So they accepted me just like I was one of the boys. And yeah, $50 million. You bet you're one of the boys.
Henrietta Hens. 11 seconds to go. Aikman underneath to Irvin. And Irvin will get out of bounds
and 5 seconds left. They've made it pretty easy for young Chris Bonio to give Dallas the lead. So a costly call by the Houston Oilers, whether it was made from the sidelines or by Bucky Richardson, has given Dallas a gift 3 if Bonio can hit this 30-yarder.
You can't stop the clock against the defending champion Dallas Cowboys and expect them not to take advantage of it. They could have used, Houston could have used that whole situation a lot better, Dick. I agree.
29 yards is the official distance for Bonio. And a 3-point mistake by Houston gives Dallas the lead at halftime. 13-10, the Super Bowl champions with the lead. And we'll be back with Greg Gumbel and the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. But first, these words from your local station.
Yes! Way! All right, we're on our way.
Dad?
Yeah.
We both know how much you love the game of football, so today Niles and I have decided to join you.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, now, Dad, this is a perfect opportunity for us to share some quality time together. So please, explain to us the finer points of the game.
All right, let's start with this situation here. Now, the quarterback's in a shotgun. He's got 4 wideouts and a blocking back. He's reading the defense, and he sees they're in a flex with rotating zones. But what he's not counting on is that nickelback in from the weak side. He's got a clear shot at the quarterback. Now, what's he going to do? I know, you're way ahead of me. Intentional grounding. Now, what exactly is intentional grounding? Well, intentional grounding is when
this
a quarterback...
has been enlightening, Dad.
Who would have thought we could have mastered the nuances of the game so quickly?
I knew intentional grounding would get rid of him.
Have you heard? Frasier's moving to Tuesday nights in just 1 week, only on NBC.
Hey, this looks good.
Honey, are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Honey?
$2.99 for all that?
I asked Mother to come and live with us.
Ooh, is that great?
Oh, and Melissa quit school and joined the circus.
Terrific.
And I got a tattoo today.
Perfect.
Arby's closes in 10 minutes.
What? 10 minutes?
Just kidding.
Now get a regular Arby's roast beef sandwich, curly fries, and a 20-ounce drink, all for just $2.99. The famous roast beef combo, only $2.99 and only at Arby's.
The time, right now. The place, your Indiana Ford dealer. The reason, Ford's Leadership Sales Drive. Save big on the best-selling cars and trucks in America, like America's #1 selling truck, Ford F-150, Ford Ranger, or the popular Ford Aerostar. Only your Ford dealer has 5 of the 10 best sellers. Get a great deal right now during your Indiana Ford dealer's Leadership Sales Drive.
Your Indiana Ford dealers are one.
A special public defender report you won't want to miss. Monday at 6 o'clock.
Hi there, I'm News Channel 13's Allison Gilman. We will be returning you to the football game coming up in just a moment. But first, a Hoosier who survived a U.S. air crash just 2 months ago continues to recover from his injuries. Coming up tonight at 6 and 11, we're going to talk exclusively with Rick Morgan of Kokomo on his experience aboard that ill-fated flight. Meantime, federal investigators believe they've found a contributing cause to Thursday's crash, which killed all 132 people on board. Investigators say it appears one of the jet engines went into reverse throttle before the landing. We'll have details coming up at 6 o'clock. Well, with just 1 week's worth of horse races under its belt, the state's first parimutuel track is already in need of some repairs. Workers are now trying to fix the track's foundation because it's sinking. Officials say the repairs won't affect any of the races. Pat Carlini is here now with a check of the weather.
Yeah, we've really turned up the heat for us today. This is much more like August than it is September, so we're just kind of flip-flopping the seasons here as we get closer to fall. Let's take a look at our national map, and I'll show you what's going on outside. The high pressure's locked in place, so for us that means warm weather. In fact, pretty warm this week, close to 90 degrees for the next couple of days, and also dry and pretty clear with a lot of sunshine. So actually a very nice, warm next few days. If you like it hot, this is for you. So we'll talk about our chances of rain coming later in the week, tonight at 6 and 11.
Okay, we also want to remind you coming up tonight at 6, we will have a live report from Tampa. Don Hine is there on the Colts game against the Buccaneers. So stay tuned for the second half of this game, and we'll see you at 6 o'clock for more on News Channel 13.
He's one of the most powerful individuals in Indiana politics. And he had a great time golfing and visiting gambling establishments on his recent trip to New Orleans. Who paid for the trip? You did. Monday on News Channel 13 at 6 o'clock. Public Defender Bill Hussing reveals how some of your elected officials are using public funds for their own pleasure. It's a story of wasted tax dollars. And it's a story you'll see only on News Channel 13, Monday at 6 o'clock. Watch IU battle Kentucky Saturday, September 17th on Channel 13.
Dallas Cowboys looking for their 10th consecutive win in an intrastate dogfight with Houston, 13-10 at the intermission. Now to the Domino's Pizza halftime report.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to our studio in New York. Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs at halftime. It's the Cowboys leading the Houston Oilers, but not by much. And I know Mike is ready to put Bucky Richardson into the Hall of Fame, aren't you?
Well, maybe not the Hall of Fame, but I'm going to get him into the Pro Bowl this year. I'll guarantee you that.
He's done a good job.
Every Sunday we wake up, you never know the big upsets of the day. This could be one of them right here.
Yeah, Bonniello field goal with 29 yards out is the difference in this game, 13-10. At the Meadowlands, the Jets and the Broncos have moved into the second half. The Jets with a 1-point lead, 14-13. Denver has lost running back Rod Bernstein in this game with a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, Mo Lewis has returned an interception for the Jets, 67 yards for a touchdown. In Los Angeles, the Raiders hosting and trailing the Seattle Seahawks, 10-3. That game has just gone to the break. In New Orleans, the Redskins leading the Saints at halftime by a score of 14-3. Brian Mitchell has a 74-yard punt return for a touchdown in that game. And at San Diego, the Chargers leading the Cincinnati Bengals 13-3 in the third quarter. The game of the day at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, the Chiefs beat the 49ers 24-17. Joe Montana hoping his performance would live up to the hype. It being. The numbers on the day. Steve Young had more passing yardage, but Joe Montana had one more TD pass. And after the game, our Jim Gray talked with Joe Montana.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. How important a victory was this for you, Joe? You downplayed it all week.
Well, I think it was a big victory for our team, you know, to be able to come here and play a good football team with a lot of talent and a lot of power on both offensively and defense and come out on top. It says a lot for our ball club.
Difficult to play against your old teammates?
Oh, yeah, it was very difficult. You're looking across there, see some familiar faces. It's just like practice. You want to look over there and laugh, but, you know, it's too serious out there. But we had a lot of fun.
Happy to have it behind you?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I think for both sides it's good to get it behind us one way or the other, and it's over with, and we've still got a long way to go in the season.
Joe, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, congratulations indeed. This was a big win for the Kansas City Chiefs, particularly against an NFC powerhouse like the 49ers.
Well, I think it's a big win for the AFC. It proves that the AFC has some teams that can match up with the so-called powerhouses of 49ers and Dallas. And the Chiefs have proven, and I think there's a few other teams. Miami looks like they can match up with anybody also.
What kind of springboard is this for the Chiefs with a game like this, Joe?
Well, it was big. I think for the 49ers side, short work week, it was a tough job going in trying to get the win here. 4 turnovers did them in. Hey, every time... Did you see Montana throw that little tackle eligible? Every time I try that, the guy gives it one of these, and his eyes gets big, and it goes right through here. That ticks me off.
You just don't know how to draft tackles, that's all. 24-17, Chiefs are the winners. In Milwaukee, the Packers fall to the Miami Dolphins 24-14. This is 8 for 8. Miami historically against Green Bay. Dan Marino to Keith Byers here. 2 touchdown passes on the day for Marino. He has 7 on the year. 24-14, the Dolphins beat the Pack. At Foxborough, the Patriots, another shootout, another loss. This time they fall to Buffalo 38-35. Marv Levy looking to avoid his first 0-2 start in Buffalo. Jim Kelly, 4 first-half touchdown passes. This one, 15 yards to Don Beebe. It was 28-14 Bills. But here come the Patriots. Drew Bledsoe leads them back 12 yards to Michael Timpson here. The Buffalo lead was down to 35-28. And then Marion Butts, 6 yards up the middle, tie game, 35-35. But under a minute to play, Steve Christie from 32 yards out, the winning field goal for the Bills. They go 1-1 on the year. The Pats fall to 0-2. The final 38-35 Buffalo. In Minnesota, the Vikings over the Lions 10-3. Warren Moon a touchdown pass, the only TD of the day. In Cleveland, Pittsburgh comes from behind to beat the Browns. 17-10 is the final score there. In Tampa, the Bucs over the Colts 24-10. Marshall Faulk 104 yards rushing in a losing effort for Indy. And in Atlanta, the Falcons beat the LA Rams 31-13. 3 touchdown passes for Jeff George. We'll send it back to Dallas for the second half right after these messages from your local station.
Must-see TV. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. It's not just must-see TV. It's Sneak Preview Thursday. Get out! First, an extra, early Seinfeld at 8, 7 Central. Plus a special sneak preview of the Martin Short Show. You never know who's going to show up. Then another Seinfeld.
Holy cow!
Followed by Frasier. Then Melissa Gilbert. Cicely Tyson, the sneak preview of Sweet Justice. After Seinfeld, Martin Short, another Seinfeld, and Frasier, NBC Thursday.
I'm Kyle Petty. Hey, with Kindle Oil, you don't need a race car to win. Just enter Kindle's fall sweepstakes. You could drive off in this loaded Pontiac Grand Prix or win a Kindle racing jacket or cap. And that's not all. You can get double mail-in rebates on Kindle Superb 100 and GT1. That's up to $8 off 2 cases of Kindle. Heck, with a sweepstakes and double rebate, you can drive the speed limit and still win. Kindle Motor Oil. Hey, man, buy it at these locations.
A special public defender report you won't want to miss. Monday at 6 o'clock.
What you're seeing here is a community working to find solutions to one of its tough problems. I'm Ray Childress of the Houston Oilers. This is a courtroom where young people are learning about responsibility, equality, and justice. My wife Karen and I have 3 children, and we're concerned about the crime and violence they're exposed to in our society today.
We created the Children's Foundation that funnels funds to the YMCA, a United Way agency where together we've created a new program called Teen Court. Here, young people are tried by their peers. It's an early intervention program that steers kids out of trouble before it's too late.
It's called Criminator. About 4,300 youths go through our teen court each year. It's crime prevention, but it's also providing educational development through special grants, and it's working here in Houston, and it can work in your town too. United Way.
13-10 lead. Let's look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. And Cowboys 60 more yards. The 1 turnover that led to the Houston touchdown, and then some questionable play calling at the end of the half that led to a Dallas Cowboy field goal that gives them the lead.
Yeah, Dick, I think the key stat there was, along with the turnover, was just 66 yards rushing by the Dallas Cowboys. Houston has done a great job of employing the blitz defensively, stunning their defensive line, and there's been very few clear, precise holes for Emmitt Smith to run through. So Houston has done an excellent job defensively. And then the other thing that I think we ought to pay attention to here is Houston's offense has done a great job taking advantage of the 7 defensive back look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 defensive backs by Dallas, and Houston goes with the run. This time Gary Brown gets the ball on the delay handoff, an excellent block by Pat Coleman, 87, and he's in the defensive backfield. Now Dallas calls this the nickel baits because there's 7 defensive backs there. Dallas has got some adjusting to do to get control of this football game.
Del Greco will kick it off to start the second half. And Kevin Williams and Clayton Holmes. Normally deep. No, it's Brock Marion with Holmes. Holmes 47. And he hits a sidewinder short at the 12 to Marion. 25. And he's to the 32-yard line.
tripped up by Bo Orlando. And Spencer Tillman. Hannah Storm is with us.
Thanks, Dick. I talked to Coach Barry Switzer as he was coming out of the locker room after halftime. He said look for a couple of things. On defense, they might blitz more than they did in the first half. And on the offense, look for them to mix in a toss sweep. Dick?
All right, thank you, Hannah. Barry Switzer at 56. 120 of his players at Oklahoma. And his 16 seasons went to the NFL, and among them 16 first-round draft picks. He knew how to recruit.
And recruit running backs, too.
Emmett Smith, he inherits this great runner, and he's out to the 37-yard line. In fact, he said Emmett Smith is the prototype running back for my taste. And when you think about it, Greg Pruitt was that size, squat, strong, lower body strength.
Stanley Wilson, Billy Sims, Joe Washington, and he tried to recruit Emmett Smith. He really did. Miami tried to recruit Emmett Smith too, but he wanted to go to Florida where he could be the guy, the one guy, and he was at Florida.
So Deuces lines up on 2nd down and 5. Aikman.
Novacek
behind, and down he goes as Kenny Davidson records the tackle, and it is a sack.
Oh, Dick, if Troy Aikman can get that ball up and ready to throw it, Jay Novacek is about 5 yards in front of a linebacker. Again, the blitz by Al Smith and also the outside linebacker. Aikman reads it properly, but when he's flushed, oh, if he could have thrown that ball down the field, Novacek was 5 yards deeper than the linebacker.
Young Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator, he's sending a lot of blue at Aikman today. It's 3rd down and 7 after the 2-yard loss. Into the flat to Smith. And he's tripped up at the 35. And since the first quarter, I can't recall a time when Emmitt Smith has been brought down so quickly by the defense. Usually he gets 3 or 4 yards after the contact.
That was a beautiful job done by Perigez, the outside linebacker. You'll see Daryl Johnston almost make contact with Perigez right side of the screen, but Perigez does a great job with an arm tackle. And again, Dallas struggling here offensively, not throwing or not showing great efficiency against this blitz.
John Jett to Travis Hanna. Wobbler. No, it's Ernest Gibbons back there at the 20. And Gibbons gets only 5. And is penalized by Bates and company. Fishback was there. So was Dave Thomas. You saw Jeff Fisher. He is the least well-known of a company of players and a great team at USC in 1980. How about Joey Browner? Same. This is the back 4. Fisher, Browner, Dennis Smith. Was he any good?
Yeah, I think I know the one that's going to come in.
And how about
there
that guy? Some Hall of Fame credentials there. Jeff Fisher was, they said, I was the other fella.
Yes, he was definitely the other fella.
And good enough to be drafted.
Coattails, Dick. Coattails.
Fine young mind. Well, the Oilers' first chance here in the second half. They start at the 24. Young Bucky Richardson. Gary Brown. He plows for 3 out to the 26-yard line. Tony Tolbert in on the tackle.
Needs his mom here. Only moms can sew up things like that. Darn socks and fix holes in your jersey. You know, you play out in the gravel, out in the backyard. Emmett, I told you, that's your brand new jersey. Don't go out there and play in the gravel. Look what you did.
Second down and 7. Pat Carter, the tight end, is in there for the Oilers on the left side. Helping against Taylor. Richardson, a lot of time, and a good throw, and no catch for Webster Slaughter, who is still shut out. James Washington on the coverage and was right there for Dallas.
Now, I'm kind of surprised. Houston comes back with their tight end set. That's 3 wide receivers, tight end and a running back. James Washington, 37, as you said. They had better success with the true run and shoot in the first half. And again, now Dallas is going with this nickel base with the 7 defensive backs. Houston's had great success against it. Look for a draw to Gary Brown or something like that.
So Gant, Bates, and Woodson, 3 defensive backs, are the 3 linebackers in this alignment. Wide open on the sidelines is Gibbons, and a first down at the 43-yard line.
Now, I I don't understand why Houston, even though there's this philosophical thing about the tight ends, but here are the 7 defensive backs. And the receiver is out here. It's zoned by Dallas all the way. Good protection. They got 5 blocking 4 up front, Dick. And Richardson's able to make the easy completion. Now, if I'm Houston, I'm staying in that run and shoot as long as I can keep Dallas in that nickel baits.
Well, they don't have the tight end now. They go with the 4 wideouts. 13 for 21 for Bucky, 113 yards. That one deflected and almost intercepted. A knockdown by Charles Haley. Every time you see that, you're reminded of the big guy, Ed, too tall. How he used to reject so many passes coming in on the charge.
Haley wants that 5th Super Bowl ring to set him apart from everybody else. There are 3 active players with 4, and he's committed himself to be the only one with the 5th.
There they are, Montana, Kansas City, and the running lot with the Jets. He has 5 sacks and 6+ quarters and a knockdown. Gary Brown had a slight opening, tried to cut back and may have fumbled, or was he already down? Cowboys say they have the ball. No, that's ruled down. No fumble. And it'll be marked for Houston at the 46-yard line, 3rd down.
Now this time Dallas came with the 2 inside linebackers. Woodson 28 assists. Ball was loose, no question about it. Haley gets a hand on it, and then Gary Brown kind of pulls away. Hit on someone's knee.
But look at his right knee. Is it down? No, that ball is out.
Now who recovers it? Anyway, Houston keeps the ball.
Charles Haley in there trying to get it for Dallas. 3rd down and long, 7.
Delay a game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
It's quite remarkable considering the lack of experience for Bucky Richardson that we haven't seen more of that today.
He has the radio transmitter in his helmet, getting the plays from the sideline from Kevin Gilbride. And with the advent of the 40-second clock last year, they had to come up with something to give these offenses time. You're right. Richardson has done an excellent job because there's a lot of play calling in the run and shoot. It's pretty complex.
At this point, both Gary Brown and Emmitt Smith of Dallas have 58 yards rushing and a TD. And now Richardson with a timeout. So on 3rd down and 12, we'll take a break. The Cowboys lead by 3. Bruce Matthews here, the center, 74. He's calling line signals. And then
Bates comes in. Matthews says, Bucky, let's take a timeout here and rethink this. He does. And that's why there was a stoppage of play.
3rd and a dozen. And Chad Hennings has his 2nd sack of the year. Former All-America at Air Force Academy. A captain, flew those tank busters in the Persian Gulf crisis. They call him a Paul Bunyan.
This guy bench presses over 500 pounds, leg presses in excess of 700. And Barry Switzer said this guy has got to play this year. We're not deep at defensive tackle. He's got to emerge as a consistent player.
All that strength, and he runs a 4.740. Paul Bunyan. Camarillo gets away a beautiful, handsome spiral. Clayton Holmes. Breaking tackles us to the 35. 51-yard punt, 15 on the return. And a timeout. 10:26 left in the 3rd. Kevin Williams, we understand a right knee injury. That's why he's not been returning punts. That hairstyle looks like one of your telestrators.
Yeah, that line is not an injury. That is a haircut.
So the Cowboys to the 35. Aiken gets away from Childress and then is tripped up. As shooting through is Lamar Lathan. And that'll be his 2nd hit on the quarterback today.
Excellent coverage by Houston. I mean, Troy Aikman is looking all over the field to try to find a receiver here. Just a 4-man rush. Look, he's going right. Nobody there. Ray Childress in his face. And then finally Lathan comes in and gets him to the ground. Not one of Dallas's best offensive performances to this point.
10-10 left, third quarter. 13-10. The toss to Smith. And he again is hit and dropped immediately at the 36-yard line. Al Smith and Bubba McDowell. McDowell down low to make that hit around the knees, and that's where you have to go at Smith in order to slow him down.
And, you know, Houston is throwing out every rule that you can apply to playing Dallas and Emmitt Smith. They realize the importance of this game. They do not want to be 0-2. They are trying everything. Blitzes, stunts, slants. So far it's worked.
Smith with only 10 yards in his last 6 carries. Third down 9. Here they come again. The quick throw. And the catch. Yes. First down to Alvin Harper. He was well covered by Chris Dishman.
Again, Dick, you saw the safety blitz coming by Houston. Going to come from the right-hand side of the screen. It's Robertson again. And is it Emmitt Smith that gets him? Yes. The most valuable player of the league just cuts the legs out from underneath Robertson. Excellent throw by Aikman down low. Harper makes sure of the catch. First down Dallas.
They needed 9. They got 11. First down at the 47. And Aikman goes up on top to Irvin. Bubba McDowell had position all the way.
I'm shocked at that call. Dishman underneath, McDowell on the inside. You know, that's a very low percentage for a completion when you want to come out here in the third quarter and establish that you are in control of this football game. You're taking a heck of a chance even at that far down the field.
Well, he wasn't looking for first down on that one. He was hoping to get the quick strike.
And Dallas really has established very little that has worked consistently to this point in this football game, Dick.
The runner Smith, and he's crunched at the 46. Kenny Davidson from one side and Michael Barrow from the other, and Smith has not gotten up. And as tough as he is, that was a whale of a pop.
Again, watch what they're doing, Dick. They are blitzing to stop the run from the outside. You also got Al Smith coming on the inside. There's just too many guys there for them to block. Emmitt Smith barely gets out of his stance.
And Smith walks slowly off the field as Jeff Fisher's strategy has been highly effective since the opening drive. Lincoln Coleman replaces him, and Aikman goes long down the middle and overshoots Alvin Harper. Emmitt Smith upset with himself or the lack of blocking or whatever. And this is a very proud athlete who has been controlled as well as any defense has stopped him in quite some time.
That is a message to the coaching staff with the new offensive coordinator, Ernie Zampese here. Last week, Irvin yelled and screamed. This week, it's Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt with 171 yards, best in the league on opening Sunday. Beautiful kick by Jeff. Gibbons. Oh, did he gamble? And the second and third waves smother him inside the 15. A 43-yard punt. Timeout. That MVP award in the Super Bowl.
No.
And we talked to him about that yesterday, and that incredible drive where he just took the ball play after play after play and just shoved it down Buffalo's throat. He looked. I wish we could have had the game. He looked at us and his eyes smiling as big as his smile and said, "I was awesome."
I was awesome. Well, he's not in the zone today.
No.
Houston has taken Dallas out of their running game. They are stunting. They are gaming. They are blitzing. And Dallas is having great difficulty with it.
A lot of backs will think 61 yards in the third quarter. Pretty good day. Richardson has the man wide open. Haywood Jeffries. And he's to the Dallas 37. And had Richardson thrown it a little sooner, that was a sure touchdown.
Totally busted coverage. Again, zoned by Dallas. And you're going to see Haywood Jeffries go straight up the field. He doesn't even slow down. Now all defensive backs are looking at the safety bit on the play action fake. They faked to Gary Brown, and it was a mistake because Haywood Jeffries wide open for the completion.
50 yards. Richardson's longest pass is a ball. Now Brown with a big hole. Look at him move through tackles. And Brown is to the 20. Oh my. Two big Houston plays. 50 on the pass. Brown adds 18 on the run.
The little delay to Gary Brown. Excellent block. 55 Flannery on 55 Jones. And Brown is in the defensive backfield. Two huge plays. You're right, Dick. Houston staying right with these Dallas Cowboys.
13-10. Dallas's lead threatened here with less than 7 to go in the third. Brown tripped up this time by Leon Lett, the big cat from Emporia State of Kansas. Jim Jeffcoat, the veteran, to help out.
Well, we haven't called his name much today, have we? Bruce Matthews, Donnelly at left guard, Hopkins at left tackle have done an excellent job. Jeffcoat's the pass rusher, although he's forced to play a little more. This defensive line not as deep as it was last year. They got to play a lot more. They can't rotate defensive linemen out there like Jimmy Johnson did.
And Charlie Casillas. Richardson with Bates right over the center.
Whoa.
Oh, almost into the arms of Kevin Smith. Intended for Pat Coleman. And Smith handcuffed. It was to him in a hurry.
Bucky makes the right call. Sees the blitz. Going with a quick out. Goodness. Oh, Kevin Smith saying, please, let's do that again. And Jim Eddy, the former Houston defensive coordinator. Butch Davis, the defensive coordinator here.
The Oilers, a 15-point underdog, looking to take the lead. Richardson, no! Intercepted. Darren Woodson. Down at the 12, ill-advised by the young quarterback.
When he brings this ball down here, then he should never throw it. He had pressure in front of him, but Bucky Richardson trying to make the big play. As you play more in the NFL, who gets in his face? Jeffcoat, 77. He should have just held that ball, taken the sack, and they got a chance for a field goal. As it is, Dallas ball.
Excuse me. Marshall Faulk. Is he the league's next great running back? All you need to know in one complete 30-minute helping. NFL Live next Sunday.
So the Dallas Cowboy defense picks off Bucky Richardson, their first interception of this young season. Darren Woodson and Bucky Richardson denied. We'll show you the play again after this first down effort by Aikman. He did have a man wide open for a touchdown if. Johnston, and the Moose gets a rare call and is out to the 18. Back to the interception.
And we'll show you what Bucky was trying to do. Here's Jeffries, and he's trying to throw here. But Woodson drops out right underneath. And when there's pressure, Jeffcoat in Bucky Richardson's face, then all of a sudden, see, here he is open. But Woodson is underneath playing that zone, and Richardson tried to do a little too much there. Best thing, just sit on. You'll learn that with snaps, with repetition.
But Bucky Richardson has raised some eyebrows here. You can see why he has such a huge fan club. Emmitt Smith, and again, the entire core of Oilers there to greet him, led by Al Smith, and they were bringing linebackers through the gaps again.
Dick, Houston may have found something from watching the film against Pittsburgh last week that worked and worked consistently against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Emmitt Smith did have 171 yards, but they've combined slants along with the blitzes and really put a lot of heat on the running game of the Dallas Cowboys.
Emmitt Smith, 12 yards the last 9 carries.
Showing again.
3rd and 3. Open is Johnston. First down at the 34. Well, they'd forgotten about Johnston, so they go to him on a run and a reception. Jay Novacek helped him out with a little pick move.
Should be coming right at us. They beat the blitz beautifully there. Novacek may have made contact with the defensive back down the field there, but there is a lot in this Dallas Cowboy offense. They also they have that aura about them that, hey, we're two-time defending champions. We've been in these spots before. We can handle it. They are not flustered.
Johnston out of the backfield, way out to the right as Aikman throws the other way, and it's Irvin with the catch at the 38-yard line, and he may be hurt as Darrell Lewis came over the top. Irvin slow getting up. Let's see if he stays in.
See if we can see what he did here. Just a hitch pattern.
Boy, Lewis going for that ball.
Yeah, can't tell. It may have landed on his hip. Did he get a knee in the? He got a knee right in the cheek. Boy, that was smart. It's like a needle about 2 feet long. Yeah. Oh man, a Charlie horse in your butt. What could be worse?
Yeah, back in the farm, we called that the old rusty dusty.
it's very rusty.
Second down and 5. No laughing matter to Michael. Here comes Emmett, and he hadn't been smiling much either because that Oiler defense crowding on him. Keith McCants leads the charge. It'll be 3rd and 2. Back to Aikman and Johnston and Smith. When you think about how Jimmy Johnson built this club in his first year in '89, he drafts like a baseball team up the middle. Stepnoski, who's made the Pro Bowl, Aikman, and Johnston right up the middle.
You're going to see them all lined up here. Well, Johnston goes over here, but there's the combination you're talking about.
They were picked 1, 2, and 3. Jimmy Johnson's first 3 picks in that initial year '89. Flag down, and the ball dropped by Novacek at the 45. And if this one is against Dallas, the punting team will be on for the Cowboys. But let's see.
I think it's against Houston. They had a defensive lineman.
Yep, that'll give Dallas a first down. So the Oilers injure themselves again with a penalty.
See if it's Ray Childress, 79.
Offside by the defense, number 79. Jumped into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
You mentioned those guys that Jimmy Johnson drafted, and yeah, they've got the 2 Super Bowl rings and they've won the championships, but they also went through that 1-15 season. So they know and appreciate the other side of that 1-15 season, the success in the Super Bowls.
Well, the 2 great trades, Herschel Walker and Steve Walsh trades, have got them such a bundle of players. Aikman. Wide open is Harper. Touchdown. The big play man, Alvin Harper. He doesn't catch as many as Irvin, but he gets some long yardage strikes. 53-yard touchdown from Troy Aikman.
That's the downside of that blitzing attitude that Houston has had. Single coverage somewhere. If the quarterback has the time.
Harper averaging 35 plus a catch today on 3 receptions. Late getting another blocker on the field, the Cowboys, but no threat from the 25-second clock. In fact, they've just started it.
Novacek, the tight end, is counting. They had 1 too many out there.
Scott Galbraith comes in and then is sent off.
Plenty of time. Still 10 seconds on the time clock.
Yeah, they're very tardy in starting that. And Bonio adds the extra point. So the interception by Woodson to deny at one end, 53-yard touchdown at the other.
This is great. Don't you get it? We're dead. We don't get it there by 11. We're shut out. Game is over.
Dave, just tell him to send over a copy. Don't panic.
There's no copy. We didn't have time.
We're dead.
That's what I said. We're dead. I just said we're dead.
At Compact, we realize you never know when you're going to need information or where. So we created Arrow, a powerful computer so small and light.
I'm a bad man. They can't stop me, Alvin Harper.
That'll probably cost him. The fashion police from the league will be all over him for that.
Well, Harper with a big touchdown catch, 53 yards, a perfect throw from Aikman, who was 5 for 7 in this second half. Harper, Southeastern Conference high jump champion, jumped over 7'4". What a target he is. And with the attention paid Michael Irvin, he complements that so well in this attack. 20-10 as Bonio, a little shorter this time, and Lorenzo White, former Michigan State All-America, runs out of room inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 29.
Back to the touchdown. Initially, great job here picking up this blitzer, and also the middle blitzer comes. Here's the pattern. Darrell Lewis bites on something. I have no idea what, but you see the protection. The pocket is perfect for Aikman when he's got that protection. You saw him pump. Darrell Lewis bit on the out. See, he's looking in a little bit. Harper goes right by him, and on that one, he is the bad man.
20-10. Troy Aikman. Look at the arms on him. He's a Barry Switzer. It's almost the way we called it. Jerry Brown for the Oilers to the 32-yard line. Well, there was a real switch in momentum on that sequence where the Oilers getting the big play to Jeffries. Could have been a touchdown, but thrown just a tard too late. Then the run by Brown looked as if the Oilers were going to punch it in, and Richardson's throw toward Jeffries for a touchdown, intercepted by Woodson at the 12, and then the Cowboys drive it the other way and get the big hit, 53 yards.
And the thing about the Dallas Cowboys is you just can't fluster this football team. They know how good they are when they play, and they play thinking.
Here comes Darren Smith. And Richardson goes down with a face mask. Jim Jeffcoat pulled him down. Was that Matthews again who peeled away and picked up the blitz?
I believe it was.
Is he something? One of the linemen, I believe, pulled off and picked off the blitzing Smith from that right corner.
Personal foul, face mask by the defense, number 77. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That'll take it out close to the 40.
See if we can pick this up, Dick. Again, blitz coming. Jones on the inside, 55. Oh, that's Gary Brown, 33.
It was Flannery late to help out.
And there's a face mask by Jeffcoat.
That was the big one, the 15-yard personal foul face mask.
Matthews on the line of scrimmage, blocking Russell Maryland, keeping him right there.
At the 41, first down, Houston. Plenty of time. We still have almost 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Richardson on the run, incomplete. Intended for Pat Coleman at the Dallas 40. Coleman, who has 6 catches today. Second and 10 from the 41.
It looked like Bucky and Kevin Gilbride were having a little trouble communicating. Maybe something wrong with the headset radio, which those headset radios belong to the teams. They're supplied by the league, but the team has to service them.
Just did beat the clock. Charles Haley, and there's no flag. There is no flag.
He came from the other side too, Dick.
And half the Houston team off the bench said, hey, how do you let him get away with that? And Houston perhaps remembering a rather ill call in the first half. And Richardson putting the body parts together.
Players up here had not yet heard the whistle.
That was right in the sternum.
Players had not heard the whistle.
Well, you can hear it.
With all the noise of the crowd, and we do have sophisticated mics on, sure, but you can certainly hear the whistles. Bucky may be hearing more than that.
He got around.
Or not hearing anything after that hit.
He got around David Williams. Haley was lined up on the other side, Dick.
So Bucky and the Oilers getting the worst of that judgment. Charles Haley, who comes flying with his 260 pounds off the wing. screen to Brown, and Haley intercepts it. Charles Haley. They ran a screen right at Haley. Brown muffed it, and it pops right to Haley.
What you want to do if you're an offensive tackle is get the guy on the ground. Nobody blocks. Oh, we saw it bounce for Houston's favor into Dishman's chest in the first quarter. This one bounces right to Charles Haley. David Williams is the man on him, tries to shove him out there. They're running the screen inside. Ball bounces right to Charles Haley. Sacks you expect. Charles doesn't have the kind of hands that you can expect to get interceptions. The little wink to Jeffcoat.
Gary Brown trying to juggle and receive and knock it right to Haley. And Emmitt Smith, again, trapped in his own backfield, gets just back to the line of scrimmage as Montgomery and Davidson in for Houston.
Now, again, Dick, that might be attributed to just the lack of practice time. Bucky Richardson with the starting offense.
Haley said, hey, no question about it. I want to be the first to win 5 Super Bowl rings. 2 with Dallas, 2 with San Francisco. And instrumental certainly in the successes of those teams with his great pass rushing talent.
He's going to retire from football and play dominoes the rest of his life.
2nd and 10 for Aikman. Harper guns it. Incomplete. Might have been deflected by Eddie Robinson in front of Alvin Harper. And the other, Michael Irvin, I thought was really interesting. Irvin looked us in the eye and he said, if any of my teammates are saying we don't want to win 3 Super Bowls in a row and be the first team to do that, they just aren't telling you the truth.
That's
man.
right.
They're lying, because we want to win our 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. Dick, we're talking about it.
Yeah, Dick, as a matter of fact, in training camp, I thought Barry Switzer did one of the smartest things I've ever heard a coach do. And I'll tell you that story in just a moment.
3rd and 10. Chased out of the pocket, and Childress wraps him up from behind at the line of scrimmage. Might have denied a sack as Aikman appears to have gained about a half yard. Brings up 4th down. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Too far for a field goal. Yes, John Jett comes on with the punting team.
Well, I'll have to get back to the Barry Switzer story. But
go ahead, tell it now.
Well, there was an incident in training camp when some young guys went out and got a little tanked up. Missed curfew, came in the next day. They were late practice. Barry goes in the meeting room and he looks at the veterans and he says, I got nothing to say with this. This is your football team, fellas. You are 2-time Super Bowl champions. If you let these kids ruin what you've established, then you're bigger fools than I thought. And all of a sudden, the veterans took over this football team. Barry Switzer is a willing observer. He has played this beautifully down here in Dallas. Didn't come in here. He said to me, which I thought was just key to what he's done, he said, I'm one guy who's going to meet 50. I don't want 50 to learn one guy. And he's had individual meetings just on the side of the practice field, just to get to know these players. He has played this beautifully.
And the end of 3 here at Texas Stadium with the Cowboys in front 20-10. Back after these messages from your local station. Charles Haley's interception. Apparently no points to be produced off that miscue by Houston. And now John Jett to open this 4th quarter. Cowboys up by 10. Trying to pooch another punt down deep. And Bill Bates, who is the up back, is the guy that likes to get down there first. Beautifully high hit. Oh, the Cowboys going to love this one. To the 5-yard line. Flag is down at the 42 of Dallas. Against Houston. Oh, that's an automatic first down.
Yes.
It occurred before the punt. Post possession something else, but
oh, but they changed their mind now. I think it's against Dallas, Dick. He motioned it was against Houston.
Our referee Ed Hockley.
Holding by the offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
And Derek Brownlow called for the hold. That denies play down to the 5-yard line. Right over the center Look for number 50.
Yeah,
right
he's
there. Yeah.
got his arm on Ray Childress, 79.
So the ball brought back to the 46, and Jet now will have to use the full leg on this punt. Two young kickers for the Cowboys really are productive. Jet, free agent last year from East Carolina. Chris Boniol, Louisiana Tech, the place kicker, 6 for 6 field goals on this young season for Dallas. Beautiful high kick. Givens lets it go, and it'll be a touchback at the 20. So that penalty cost Dallas 15 yards instead of the 5. Houston starts at the 20. Out comes Bucky Richardson on offense, and let's go back in the grid.
This was the last time that the Houston Oilers had the football. This was a nice play action fake. We're going to stop this, and you watch what happens to this safety. See, bites on the play action fake. Suddenly Haywood Jeffries down the middle. If Bucky Richardson can lead Haywood Jeffries, he scores. He has to hold on for the football. Biggest play of the game for Houston. Unfortunately, they got no points out of that particular play.
That was a 50-yard play for the Oilers. The longest play of the day, 53 yards. Aikman to Alvin Harper for the touchdown.
Well, now Houston going back to the tight end set. They got Pat Carter in there. This formation has not worked today. Let's see if it does.
For about 5 yards. Richardson's last 3 pass attempts, 0 for 3 and 2 intercepted. One as he went for the touchdown, the other not his fault certainly, as Gary Brown juggled the ball and right into the arms of Haley.
Well, Leon Lett getting up real shaky here. Looked like he hit his head or kind of limping a little bit, but these guys have played 78, and Tolbert and Haley have played almost the entire football game.
4 yards for Brown, 2nd and 6. Richardson. Oh, dropped by Jeffries at the 30-yard line. That would have been a first down.
Goodness. That was right in the breadbasket. Doesn't even run the out. Trying to run before he catches it, I guess, but he had the first down, and that's the most important aspect of the play. Just hang on to it.
Talk about being hit in the numbers. Huh?
Well, you need to catch that ball with your hands whenever possible. Your hands cushion, your body does not.
And Shaken does come out. Chad Hennings in for him. 3rd and 6. Richardson on the roll and has the first down as he finds his receiver at the 37, Ernest Givens.
Again, Richardson with a little bit of pressure. I think the first thing young inexperienced quarterbacks do is flush from the pocket quickly. He feels pressure, not really much there, but he does appear to throw the ball well on the run. Completion to Givens, first down.
Yeah, the Oilers fortunate. Givens gets the catch, but Brad Hopkins did a pretty good takedown on Jim Jeffcoat to give Richardson some area to operate. Meanwhile, Webster Slaughter yet to catch a pass today. Incomplete to Givens at midfield. Covered well by Kevin Smith.
Dick, that's another problem with an inexperienced quarterback. An inexperienced quarterback has tunnel vision. You see one guy and one guy only. A guy like Warren Moon or a guy like Cody Carlson can see that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th receiver, which generally in the run and shoot are the guys that produce the biggest numbers, that 2nd and 3rd receiver. But under the circumstances, Bucky's done a good job.
Now, if you're giving him a grade on his first NFL start,
it's a high B.
You bet.
Going blitz, holding audible.
Beats the clock. Throws to Givens. No good. Didn't get both feet down. James Washington on the coverage.
Wouldn't even have counted in college. First one comes down out of bounds. Washington did not force him out of bounds. No complaint from the Houston Oilers bench.
Capacity here at Texas Stadium is 65,846. 64,402 appeared for this sellout. Great place to watch a football game. Oh my. 3rd and 10. Screen it to Gary Brown. Chase from behind. Oh, is he hit from in front by James Washington? No, it's 31 Brock Marion. Oh, did he level Brown? Marion 189. Brown is 233 pounds. So a 44-pound difference.
Well, this is a good call by Houston. A screen against those 7 defensive backs. Excellent block by 77 Donnelly. Let's see, Leon Lett hits him from behind, and Marion finishes him off. And Gary Brown is still down on the ground. Here's Lett. Makes a little contact with him, and then Marion, oh, looked like he'd bent his left leg.
That may be the injury more than anything up around the head, and they're going to measure. He's right at the 48-yard line.
Houston has eaten this nickel Bates, this 4-7 defense, up today.
Boy, that's good news for the Oilers to see him bounce up.
That is a tough leg. Watch his left leg. Leon Lett kind of gets him outside of his hips, and then the hit.
Oh, after what we saw on Monday night with the Raiders' Napoleon McCallum, unfortunately that was the padding that we saw being squished around and not the knee itself.
Seems fine.
And he got the first down by inches. Lorenzo White, his first appearance in the backfield this season, was late signing. Elected to go elsewhere. No one picked him up. Richardson just does get away. Now he fumbles. And who's got it? The Oilers fall on it. Number 72, Brad Hopkins, at the 45-yard line. Russell Maryland had invaded the backfield that time.
Well, he avoided that first rusher. Here's 72. Hopkins, he makes the recovery, but he's got Tolbert, who was out there pass rate. No, I take it back.
Rookie.
That's Shante Carver, the rookie, their first-round draft choice. But Hopkins is on the ground. Ball bounces his way, and he covers it.
Loss of 3. Richardson, wide open Jeffrey. Boy, he made sure he caught that one at the 44-yard line. They're going to mark it better than that. Looks like at the 44, shy of the first down by 2.
He thought that ball was never going to get there.
399th career reception for Haywood Jeffries.
Those two are connected in a lot of ways. Michael Irvin, one of 17 kids. So is Haywood Jeffries.
17 kids in that Irvin family in Fort Lauderdale. Jeffries from Greensboro, North Carolina. Gary Brown has the first down at the 40 and out of bounds at the 38. Well executed.
This is a nice little outlet to slow everything and everybody down. And Shante Carver pushed outside by, well done by Bucky Richardson. That is a very difficult pass to complete. And he put it to Gary Brown in stride where he could advance it.
11 minutes exactly remaining in this fourth quarter. Houston trailing 20-10. Fumble. Richardson just does save it. Jim Jeffcoat there for Dallas. Oh, you think about all the responsibilities, and then it comes down to an exchange of snap that can.
Yeah, and Bucky pulled out too quickly there. Bruce Matthews had to pull left, but Bucky was coming way out of there when that ball got into his hands.
Richardson in 93 last year as a rookie was on the special teams. He said, I'll do anything. Put me on the kick teams. Now the starter against the Super Bowl champion. He guns this one incomplete right off the chest of Reggie Brown. To New York we go.
All right, Dick, and we'll go to the Meadowlands, where in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, under 5 to play, Boomer Esiason, 35 yards to Rob Moore. Moore also caught the 2-point conversion, 22-19 Jets. Now about 4 minutes to play. Meanwhile, at the U.S. Open, men's championship goes to unseeded Andre Agassi, a straight set winner over 4th seed Michael Stich.
All right, Greg, congratulations. Andre Agassi wins his second Grand Slam, the U.S. Open. Meanwhile, it's 3rd and long for Richardson up on top. Incomplete. No. Both Washington 37 and Kevin Smith 26 had their mitts on it. Well, you talk about getting about 2 years of education in one game. Bucky Richardson.
It's been forced, but he's handled it pretty well. He was just lucky that was not intercepted. Just trying to save his hide and save also the sack.
With Kevin Williams nursing a knee injury today, Clayton Holmes back to return. Holmes from Carson Newman College. He had knee surgery last year, didn't play all year. He's got great speed, 4.3 speed. Too much time against Houston. That won't bother Camarillo with his leg. He averaged 46 a punt last week. Cowboys don't want him to move back.
Delay of game by the offense. The foul is declined. It remains 4th down.
Well, Camarillo, like John Jett of the Cowboys, trying to just loft one high and hope his teammates can cover it inside the 10. 5-time Pro Bowler Camarillo. Holmes with a fair catch at the 11. Now Dallas with the ball. 10 minutes exactly to go. And 10 is the lead here at Texas Stadium.
Every day we all find light, the silver bullet. Keep on moving.
Evan Gilbride, the Houston Oilers offensive brain trust, talking with Richardson and his receivers. Dallas takes over on the 11, leading 20-10 as they go for their 10th consecutive victory. Emmett Smith finally finds a hole and gets about 8. Emmett Smith, part of the litany of great runners in this franchise's history that began with a man up there on the Wall of Fame. Don Perkins from the University of New Mexico was a star runner for the Cowboys. And then Dwayne Thomas, not here long, but he certainly made a lot of headlines. And the classic Calvin Hill. A bowling ball Robert Newhouse. How tough was he to tackle? And then the Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett and his 12,000 yards. Herschel wasn't here long, but he certainly helped the franchise to do more than he thought. Emmitt Smith, the first down out to the 24.
Now Dallas going with a 2 tight end offense. 89 Galbraith, and you also have a Novacek. This is generally where you would have Emmitt Smith take over a football game. Just keep handing him the ball. They've had great difficulty running it. They've not used the 2 tight end set, but first 2 snaps here, it's produced the first down.
Smith needs 24 yards here in the late going to hit the 100 mark.
Yeah, 76 yards for Emmitt Smith. That's a lot.
He throws those back. Yeah. Those aren't legal size. This time it's Johnston, the fullback, and Moose gets nearly 5. Named by Babe Laufenberg, a backup quarterback here, and now a broadcaster. The nickname Moose. He hadn't missed a game in his 5 National Football League years, 5 plus these 2 of this season. He was on a plane ride with Larry Zonka once, and Zonka, who went to Syracuse, as did Johnson, said, "Oh, broke my heart. I tried to talk Don Shula into drafting Daryl Johnston, but it was Dallas who got him in the 2nd round in '89.
He's 5 pounds heavier than he was last year, and I said, why? And he says, "Have you seen me play?" I said, "Yes, Daryl." He said, "That's why."
Nate Newton, the all-pro guard, being helped. So we'll take this commercial break.
It was the biggest project.
Best athlete he ever coached, he said at Oklahoma, Leroy Selman, the academic All-America there. He said the most biggest overachiever he ever coached. And we'll give you that answer in a moment. Emmitt Smith grinds it out to the 30-yard line. He said the biggest overachiever he ever coached went back to the University of Arkansas days. Oh. Jerry Jones, his boss now.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, there he is.
Was this filled out before or after he got the job?
I believe after. Okay. That may surprise you.
All right.
182-pound offensive guard with Jones with the national champion Hawks in '64. What's he done since?
Not much. Just look around.
He is the boss. Third down and 3. And Aikman looking for Johnston. Incomplete. Good coverage by the safety, Bubba McDowell.
And again, it looked like they blitzed about 15 guys, Houston did. They have stayed consistent. Jeff Fisher told us last night they were going to blitz against the run, against the pass, against everything, and they've done it. Of course, that's part of the Buddy Ryan philosophy. It's a high-risk, high-reward defense. You know, they'll take chances on every snap.
And cost them once today, the 53-yard bomb to Alvin Harper from Aikman. So Travis Hanna back at the 21, and John Jett to punt.
Beautiful.
Hanna. Ooh, is he hit? Pavel Bates. Boy, this fellow, is he getting older or just a lot better? At 33, he throws his body around like a high school sophomore.
Hitler and the LA Raiders take on John Elway and the Denver Broncos in an AFC West matchup or regional action.
The NFL on NBC. There's nothing more American.
Some said he was too short, some too small, some said he was too slow. But Tom Landry saw right away this guy has heart. He's written a book, Shoot for the Star, an inspiring story of beating the odds. Bill Bates still playing as hard as he did as a free agent rookie out of Tennessee. Houston with its best field position other than the Dishman interception. Richardson has some time. Finds Jeffries open, and a gain of 20 to the Dallas 40. That's number 400 reception for Haywood Jeffries.
Just a deep out, and for once Bucky Richardson sits nicely in the pocket. You see Smith underneath, turns Brown the cornerback. Nice throw, good timing. Each quarter, each series, Bucky's gotten a little better. That's his 6th catch now of the day.
Gives him 14 in 2 games. 20-10 Dallas. Gary Brown got a couple on an ad-lib effort. Jim Jeffcoat, the veteran. He goes way back to 83, the #1 pick, Jeffcoat.
Billy and his wife have 4 kids, a set of triplets that are 5, and then another child that's 2. So life the other 6 days of the week is like covering punts and kickoffs in that Bates household.
One day you get 2 boys and a girl. You get your family.
There's a crowd around there.
Whoa, Brown has had some trouble. It was a juggling play like that that fell right in the lap of Haley.
There's Haley right over his shoulder. The swing pass is a very difficult pass to complete. This one's thrown, and Brown should have caught that one.
He had a little running room too. So Houston trailing by 10 and time running out. 6.5 minutes left. 3rd and 9 for Bucky Richardson, who's completed 50% of his passes today.
And here's this 4-7 defense. Houston's had great success against it, Dick.
Oh, almost intercepted. Larry Brown was a step away from a touchdown, knocks it away. Well, you're down by 10. You're in Dallas territory. One would guess that Pardee will go for it, 4th and 9.
Brown does an excellent job here. Again, zone coverage. Gets inside, knocks the ball away. Not as easy as it appears to just swipe that ball away. And yeah, they're staying out there, Dick.
Well, you notice too, Bob, from last week, officials are looking at the defensive back play much more liberally. They're allowing more touches. 4th and 9, critical for the Oilers. Richardson's going to run it. And he's out of bounds at the 20 with a 1st down. Of course, that was his strength. He set a Southwest Conference record for quarterbacks when he rushed for almost 2,100 yards in his career at A&M. He gets 18.
He was recruited by other schools, LSU among them. He was from Baton Rouge, but they recruited him as a running back or a defensive back. He went to Texas A&M because Jackie Sherrill said, son, you can be a quarterback.
No one thought he could be a quarterback in this league. But he's proven a lot of bright people wrong. Here comes Lorenzo White with those fresh legs. So the veteran White with a big gain down to about the 12. White, who is 4th in Oiler history in rushing.
He's definitely got fresh legs. Missed the second half of last year and all of preseason so far this year.
2nd and 3. Richardson gets away. What a piece of work. And Haley's after him. And that's going to be intercepted. Oh, how did the Cowboys not come up with that? Darren Smith was the closest. And Bucky Richardson. What an effort to elude the rush. And Haley right on his chops from the backside.
Leon lets the first one that flushes him, but Bucky Richardson never gives up on a play. And wait till he sees the film to see how close Haley was to making that sack. Again, Haley on the right side against David Williams. Good protection, but Richardson stays with the play, so Haley stays with the pass rush and almost gets him.
Timeout called by Dallas. Dallas uses the timeout with 5:29 left, and the Oilers threatening to pull within 3.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
Alternative math. 1% rich plus 1 hash brown plus 1 coffee equals $1.99 every day. Add it to your morning at Burger King. We may not...
In Irving, Texas, a reminder that after the game, most of you will be seeing Angels, the Mysterious Messengers, and then we'll bring you the network premiere of Other People's Money starring Danny DeVito. Viewers on the West Coast, of course, will see these shows at their regularly scheduled times. Dallas 20, Houston 10, but the Oilers threaten 3rd down and 2.5 at the Cowboy 13. Bucky Richardson has Gary Brown behind him. Fake to Brown. Richardson on the scramble dives for a 1st down inside the 10.
Oh, this kid, I can see where he has fans. He does not give in to a play. He was looking for anybody to throw it to. Look, watch him when he sees. Look, come on, get over, get over. Oh, there they are. Head first. None of that feet first stuff. Not for an Aggie.
His coach played for Texas A&M. Deflected and incomplete. He's also been lucky on a couple throws inside the 20.
That ball has been like a pinball today. Not a football.
The Jets and Denver flirting with overtime.
Hennings gets his arm up, deflects the ball. Who is it? Washington? Oh, Brock Marion tries to get it first.
It was in this spot a year ago.
Oh, no.
Game 2. Remember, Novacek right there, the last play of the game. Incomplete. And Buffalo beat Dallas. And Dallas is 0-2. Gary Brown, a huge hole. Slams to the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. Robert Jones making the tackle. Boy, that Brown, when he gets his 233 pounds headed north, he is tough to bring down.
Straight ahead blocking, a little fold by the center, Bruce Matthews. You're right, he's tough. Runs right through the tackle of Robert Jones, who is a tough kid. He's replacing Ken Norton in the middle of this defense, but
Matt Darby, remember, it was Buffalo, the man who intercepted
yes, Matt Darby
in the last play of the game. All right, or nearly last. Here it is, 3rd and goal from the 2. Touchdown, Brown behind some big blocks on the right side. Lorenzo White in the backfield with him through a key lead block. Do you go for 2 here, or do you play for a chance at a 3-point tie? You're not going to play to win here, are you, at 4:07?
No, I think I take the extra point. You've got your timeouts left. You've got
Del Greco is in there. It doesn't mean that they might have a shake off as Tom Tuba showed us at Cleveland last week.
But Houston's got 2 timeouts left. Their defense has had good success against the Dallas offense today.
4:07 remaining. The Oilers, big underdogs, are within 3 of the Super Bowl champions, 2017. A 60-play drive engineered by the young quarterback Richardson in 11 plays.
2 tight ends. You also had Lorenzo White, 44, with an excellent lead block. And Gary Brown runs over.
For 10 years had Houston been such a big underdog, more than 2 touchdowns. The Dallas Cowboys were favored today. Del Greco sends a good one to Holmes inside the 5. John Henry Mills, a massive tackle.
He got up too. Holmes got up.
So did Mills. What a hit.
Boy, you could hear that up here. Seldom. Let's see if we can hear it.
When you see a hit like that, you marvel at the construction of the human body.
That was
a see the helmet coming out the other side.
That was a head snapper.
Aikman from the 25. Fake to Smith. Throws underneath the Novacek. Out of bounds? No. They keep the clock running at the 33. A pickup of 8. Bubba McDowell with the tackle.
If the score remains the same, I think Barry Switzer will have his first opportunity to really jump on this football team. They have not adjusted well to what Houston was doing to them offensively and defensively. Take nothing away from Houston, but Dallas has not played to their normal efficient self today.
Harper, the big 53-yard touchdown catch, is to the left. Irvin to the right. 2nd and 2.
Blitz.
Smith can't get Johnston, so he ran right into Darrell Johnston, but Johnston gained a 1.5 yards. It'll be 3rd and less than a yard for the first down. Well, what happens? You win 2 Super Bowls in a row. Green Bay the next year didn't play 500 ball in '68. Miami with 2 in a row, and they played well, 11-3. But Pittsburgh would go on and win that Super Bowl in '74. In fact, Pittsburgh then would win the next 2. Then they would lose in '76 as the Raiders won the big prize. Steelers again 2 in a row. And the Raiders again would be the winners in 1980 when the Steelers slipped to 9-7. And the last team, well, 2 more left. San Francisco 2 in a row and had a great season, 14-2. But the New York Giants able to beat them in the NFC Championship. And now the Dallas Cowboys get their chance to become part of NFL history in its 75 years.
You mentioned all those teams that didn't do well the 3rd year in a row. Boy, winning the Super Bowl and keeping players is so much more expensive nowadays. Jerry Jones told me that he bought the franchise here, the football team, for $60 million. He paid 8 offensive starters upfront money of $30 million last year.
3rd and inches, and Emmitt Smith almost fumbled, and he almost went for a touchdown. The last man, Marcus Robertson, made the tackle. First down at the 41. And Houston calls timeout. That is their final timeout. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Broncos and the Jets. And in overtime, New York off to a great start, 2-0. Denver 0-2. There's another factor that will be chewed up tomorrow, and that is at the end of the first half, the Oilers had the ball deep in their own end, 3rd and inches, and elected with less than a minute to go to throw a pass, not get a first down or use the clock. When incomplete, Cowboys got it, moved it down for a field goal, and that's the difference in the game now, the 3 counts. Nothing there at all, and that's how the Oilers have defended Emmitt Smith most of this day. Now the clock will run as they reset the 45.
Let's see, when they start the clock, they'll have to run 1 more play before the 2-minute warning, 1 more first down, and the Dallas Cowboys should have this game wrapped up, and it's one that they'll be very fortunate to get out with a win.
For those of you just joining us, the last time this Dallas team lost was while you were enjoying your pumpkin pie last Thanksgiving on the ice of this stadium floor where Miami beat them in a free play. Oh, Ray Childress almost with an interception, and the flag is down.
Defensive lineman drops out in coverage.
Roughing to the passer.
Oh my!
Arm to the head.
Another
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Another penalty, and the Houston Oilers have self-destructed several times. Eddie Robinson, a blow to the head.
That's an easy one. Eddie Robinson should know better. The referee is standing right there. His #1 purpose in this game is to protect the quarterback against shots like that. Ed Hockley standing right there to throw that flag.
That game is over in essence now.
Yep.
That gives the Cowboys the automatic first down at the 44-yard line.
And
2:15 to go.
And they don't have to run a play.
Well, they got to run a play here.
Wait a minute. Why didn't
it start until the ball is snapped?
Okay. You're right, though.
Emmett. He's not going to take any chances on someone ripping the ball away, and this will take it to the 2-minute warning, and Emmitt Smith is slow getting up, and this could be holding that left side. Remember, he had shoulder surgery in the off season.
Oh, he hit right on his elbow, Dick. He landed right on his elbow, which jarred the shoulder.
He is as tough as they come, and showed that playing with a dislocated shoulder against the Giants late last year when they needed him so desperately.
Watch his left elbow. Lands hard, and that jams that shoulder up into the socket. And this is the franchise. This guy is the epicenter. He's the one that does all the hard work for the Dallas Cowboys offense.
Well, it was in our NFL Live pregame today. We're talking about most valuable Cowboy, and they're talking about Daryl Johnson and how he understandably is admired. Mike Ditka said, hey, there's the guy. He's the one you can't afford to lose. He is the MVP. 2 to go. Mysterious messengers right after the final gun here. Here's Emmitt Smith. He's okay. Down to the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 6. And now they 40-second clock. They'll get 2 of those at least.
Well, he told us it was the funny bone, but he's getting up like he look at the knot on his elbow.
Yeah, the Wurzel sack there.
Yeah, already starting to swell up, but he's also holding that arm like it's a little shoulder injury too, winging it around there.
Oh, he is hurting. 88 yards rushing today for Emmitt Smith, the 3rd. This is a must-stop play for Houston with 1:18 to go. And Smith, they don't stop him. First down, flag down. Clock stopped, 1:13. Al Smith made the stop. Holding against Dallas. 1:13. Figure that the play coming up will consume 10 seconds. That'd be 1:03. Then they get 40 before they have to run if they don't make it a 4th down play. Well, it's academic now. They have the first down.
They need time. Yards.
So even if that had been 4th and inches, you would have they would have taken the play.
I think so.
Holding by the offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Nate Newton is back.
That's not the way you want to find out he's back.
Big Nate. Nathaniel II, the kitchen, and back in the refrigerator started the whole home appliance nickname, and he became the kitchen. His son Nathaniel III is just simply Trey.
Yeah. Well, those 2 guards they now have in Dallas, Nate Newton and Derek Kennard, they are at least 2 appliances. I mean, at least.
Kennard, number 60, over the 300 mark as well. They don't gamble with the pass. They give it to Smith, and he's wrapped up at the 48. Now the 40-second clock starts. So Houston apparently will get the ball with 20-25 seconds to go.
Right. Dallas will let the clock expire. They don't care, and then Houston's got to go after the punt, Dick.
Ernest Givens deep.
10-man rush.
Givens lets it fly into the end zone. So Bucky Richardson will start from the 20 with 20. Richardson. To Givens on his knees, then rolls out of bounds to stop the clock. A gain of 16. Time 14 left.
Dallas using this 7 defensive back set, playing the prevent, which is not only number of defensive backs but also attitude. You let no receiver get deeper than your safeties here. Let everything happen in front of you.
I think the rivalry doesn't mean something. And these two teams last week, Dallas wins at Pittsburgh 26-9, dominates the Steelers. The Oilers were down 42-0 into the fourth quarter at Indianapolis. But it played some rather convincing football. Richardson, no timeouts left. Down he goes, Charles Haley, and with it, the final seconds of this game. The Cowboys win again, 10 in a row. Dallas 20, Houston 17. Young Bucky Richardson, though, admired even by his opponents. He's a gutty kid. A reminder, stay tuned. We'll have more of the scores and highlights when we return.
2 MVPs, 2 rings. I've been working hard. Maybe this year, I'll take a little time off. There, that was refreshing.
All men are created equal. Some just work harder in the preseason.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous.